I've got a question.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah.
Fire.
We've been experiencing a lot of things, but if you were to set your daily life to a video game soundtrack, what would you have?
Good question. Probably Final Fantasy VII, I think. Like
Solid.
especially Final Fantasy VII, especially the battle music. Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'll try and put that in the edit of this. Actually, it'd be sweet.
When does that kick in during your day?
Just as soon as I wake up, man. Just battle music as soon as I wake up.
Just immediately just battling the day. Just full on.
Yeah, nice. Dave, what do you reckon?
Oh,
Do you have an answer?
yeah, I'm just gonna go bloody Mick Gordon's Doom 2016 soundtrack because
Jesus.
that's just what my life is.
Just
Wow.
speaking of fighting, just full
Just
battle.
get in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not really.
right.
Not really. but
pretty
I would,
sweet. Walking
but I
around.
would still have that because it would be freaking sweet. Just
that would be
just,
very
Yeah.
sweet.
again wake up and immediately just start battling daily monotony to the dulcet tones of BFG Division.
Yeah.
That is.
I just picture you like you go into work, you just don't even bother opening the door. You just like smash through
Just
it.
kick it in there.
Just- yeah,
Everybody's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, ugh.
yeah. Just throw your dirty dishes in the sink and like they explode. You know, you're just like, I'm done with that. Just onwards.
Just super shotgun the computer into life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the chainsaw kind of concerns me a little bit, but you know.
Yeah.
That's I just attach the chainsaw to an electric scooter base and off I go on my home.
Oh, yeah.
Hook it up. Yeah, just don't get your feet stuck in there.
Yeah, you gotta be a bit careful.
Yeah, true.
What about you, Nate?
Oh, well, currently at the moment it's the theme song for Expedition 33.
Oh,
And that's because it is perpetually in my head
all the time. Oh my god,
Just
that's amazing.
Just living the French life.
always. Yeah.
It's a good mix of the three guys. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's crazy how it just every moment of the day is just in my head. It's like there'll be a quiet moment and it'll just be like, I can't even do it. You know
You should though.
yeah. Oh, it's in my head right
Continue.
now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear me singing opera, or
Yeah, no, I really do actually.
French opera? Yeah.
Like absolutely,
No,
100%.
please go ahead.
Oh man.
Because they all got their own like theme songs and stuff. It's very well realized. Like 174 tracks in that game.
Is there? Wow.
Well, I'm just in the YouTube now. But they were all like different variations and stuff and different like motifs and refrains and blah, blah, blah. So like it's, it's, whew.
I tell you what, Nate, if you
Absolutely.
sing us some French opera, I will sing you BFG Division.
Oh.
All right.
I
I'll
need
start.
to look
I'll
up
start,
their obscure
and
singing.
then you can back it up with the French opera.
That's pretty sweet.
I know.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. So that's one of the great soundtracks of all time, actually. It actually is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
French.
incredible. Yeah.
I feel
But
French
we'll get to
already.
that.
I need a baguette straight up.
Ah, so good. Just chills.
So good.
Just singing it to
Absolute
myself.
choice. Yeah, man. I look forward to your update there, man. Should be good.
Yes. I have a great fact, so stay tuned. A great
all right.
obscure fact.
Fun facts coming your way soon.
Welcome to the Crossplay Cooperative. As always, I'm Len, and you can join us here every fortnight as we talk about recent gaming news, announcements, and what we've been playing. Who knows? You might even just learn something that'll change your life. Introducing the rest of the crew, he's recently caught doing some Netrunner cosplay in his local Foursquare. It's Nate.
Ooh, yeah, cosplaying is smoke.
Is that's Mortal Kombat though, isn't it?
No, look her up, man. You'll love her. She's
Oh,
a
really?
great character. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Smoke.
It's like it's full on, yeah.
Probably
full on
not
lore, isn't it?
allowed in the supermarket because she's always got a cig hanging out of her mouth.
Just durries, yeah, probably not ideal.
Yeah, it's got to be like heated tobacco products nowadays, doesn't it, to be legal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh my god. And he's currently nursing a Next Fest demo hangover. It's Davo.
Oh boy, yeah. So many games. I'm going insane in a good way.
That
How
is
many
one hell of a
do you
list.
think you put under your belt?
I've lost track a bit. There were a few. It's been
Nice.
good. It's been a good time.
Very good.
Good stuff.
Well, we're on episode 10, boys. Episode 10.
Woo.
We've made it. We've done
Yeah,
better than I think
nice.
was it 90% of all podcasts only make it to episode 10.
Wow.
So
Yeah, top 10%.
if you've listened to these episodes,
won.
if you've listened to all 10, you've done. Even I haven't listened to all 10 to be fair, and I edited the damn thing. So that's impressive. Thanks for hanging in there with us. But for this episode, we have a listener shout out from one of the fellas. If you want to give us a comment or something for us to talk about on the show, you can hit us up on the Crossplay Cooperative on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, not TikTok. I lied. We don't have a TikTok.
Yeah, and in fact, please do hit us up. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes, absolutely.
It's nice to chat about what other people think as well as what we think.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
what we think is more important than what you think, but we still like to talk about what you think.
So, one of our friends, Jordan, he has been thinking about the role of narrative in video games. So, this is what he said. I've been thinking about the role of narrative in video games, and that could be an interesting one. I tend to prefer my games without any story at all, and I'm not compelled by, for example, the Rivage-style games where the gameplay is mostly run-of-the-mill, third-person survival combat, and the story is the vibe and the main draw. So not his bag. And he sort of has a couple of notes about that games aren't necessarily suited to a narrative storytelling as a medium. To the extent that there are games with stories, the ones that do it best are mostly borrowing from literature or cinema, or halt the game part to do it. So, for example, the cutscenes versus gameplay.
Yes, now that's an interesting one. And I reckon let's maybe break these down one at a time, because he's got some really interesting ideas here. And I reckon that my thought on that first one is, yes, I think a lot of sort of, single-player narrative-heavy games do tend to be super derivative of cinema or of literature, but I'd say more cinema than literature these days, just because they tend to borrow from cinematic tropes just because they're both visual mediums, right? So it's a more direct translation. And weirdly, then you sometimes end up with things going full circle, and we end up with The Last of Us getting turned back into a TV series, Uncharted turning back into an Indiana Jones movie, which is what it came from in the first place. It's like we have the movie of the game of the movie. So some of that stuff gets very circular. And I mean, there's also supposed to be a Helldivers movie in the works, which is literally just Starship Troopers. The book, the movie, the game, the movie. Full circle and all those. But yes, most of the time you do in fact halt the gameplay part to see the story. And where I think things get interestingly different is where, say, the gameplay elements themselves are used to specifically either draw you into the narrative or are an active part of the narrative. And I feel that's something that especially indies have been trying to do a lot more recently. It calls to mind the likes of, I've recently heard a fair bit of buzz about a game I haven't played myself, but have looked into a bit, called Consume Me, which is a game that, sort of funny little, slightly cartoony indie game that deals with some pretty heavy themes around eating disorders and things like that, and sort of does what it can to really put you inside some of those anxieties through the way it's kind of getting you to play the game. And yeah, I feel like there are more and more examples of that, where the things you are actually doing and the way it's making you feel are what it's about. It's able to kind of put you inside someone's shoes by kind of allowing you to feel what they feel in some limited way. So I think that's an interesting form of storytelling that's very specific to an interactive medium.
Yeah, there's like narrative, like a narrative pathway versus like storytelling, or like kind of using gameplay to convey emotion, which will go a bit, I think we sort of talk about a little bit later with this discussion, but like, yeah, but I think, I tend to agree. I think games generally borrow from particularly cinema, and yeah, there is that kind of like to and fro cutscenes versus gameplay. And we're starting to get there with the indies. I definitely think like games like Journey, there isn't a narrative per se, but there is a journey. There is an experience to be had, and that's something that I don't think films can do in the same way that games can do, because it's interactive, and it's not necessarily like the intricacies of it so much as the interaction and the visual coupled with the interaction that gives you those feelings. I think like the next thing he goes into is like, what did games do better than other medium? And I wrote in my notes, like quick notes here, like testing hand eye coordinate. There's a physical component. There is an interactive element of video games, which podcasts, books and stuff, though they don't do. There's a physical, like I do something with my hands. There's something tactile about gaming, and also they're the only form of media, well, or at least the only form of narrative media experience, particularly, that is skill gated. Like there aren't books where if you're not good enough at the book, you can't finish it. There aren't movies where the skill check you halfway through to see if you've understood the plot enough to get to the end.
There are a couple of books I can think of that do that.
Yeah, no, I think there are probably a couple of books.
House of Leaves for one.
Comprehension skill checks, perhaps.
House of Leaves, definitely a skill check. Even I don't know, like books that test your ability to like just go with the world that's been presented to you, and where they don't slow down and they don't stop to explain things, and you just need to figure it out as you go along.
Just like white knuckle it.
And the other thing I would say that is fairly unique to games is the power fantasy, like the idea of turning into something, completely embodying something that, is impossible or that you're absolutely not, and having it making you feel badass or in control, or, existing in a world that you couldn't otherwise. Just an ability to, like you said, immersion, but also being something you're not.
Yeah. I don't think that's necessarily like, just going back to what George's trying to say, like, it still isn't something that needs storytelling. Like, you could take away storytelling, still have power fantasy, couldn't you? Yeah,
absolutely.
So I agree. That's Call of Duty.
Yeah, something that games do extremely well, which I think they do better than any other medium, but is again unrelated to narrative. I don't think it's. I think it's something that sometimes can even take away from narrative because you're kind of distracted by your interaction with, God, I feel so good about jumping off these walls and shooting the shoes in the head or whatever. Oh yeah.
He says there
story.
Are a few,
what story?
Yeah, exactly. A few game-native forms of storytelling, such as branching choices, environment design, and altering player capabilities, but they're not very high resolution compared to other kinds of media. So I think what he's trying to say is basically like those branching choices aren't necessarily as nuanced and as detailed as you can get with like a very specific like linear narrative in a book or a film.
Yes, again, most of them act as kind of dilutions of narrative rather than
I think so, yeah.
additions to it in many ways. Like, yes, you have some control over it, but because of that, all the choices often tend to be lesser just because of the quantities involved.
One thing that I do think is that games deliver, or games that tell a narrative deliver, that's not seen too much in the world of cinema and TV, is games that result in a unique experience to the player. Games that give you choice, or games that do have branching narrative, depending on your actions in the game. And you as a player have this agency to affect the world that you're playing in. I guess if we look at screen, like TV and film, you do have a few experiments into choose your own adventure type media, or like a book, which has choose your own adventure, or or like the Ian Livingstone sort of like D&D light books. But then on the flip side, that's kind of a narrative, told through TV that is borrowing concepts of games. So it's like the other way around, where if you're playing Baldur's Gate, you've got the gameplay, and then you've got the gamification of the story. But then,
I would say there's an interesting opportunity to get very deeply attached to characters in a lot of narrative games, particularly RPG games where you have some player agency, even ones where you have less, like your Final Fantasies and things, where the story you're playing is more linear and you have less direct effect on the conversational choices and things like that. You're still kind of living through one or more of the characters and spending a lot of time interacting with your party or the characters that you're with, and I think that does give you a kind of semi-unique level of direct attachment that some other media might not necessarily.
What's like at the end of a D&D campaign, where you become quite attached to your character and the journey you've taken them through is your journey with your mates, and you get that from a video game. Granted, though, you can also get that through reading a book, becoming attached to the character, but the choices are not your own in the book. Well, for the most part, and that's kind of like we've got all these different forms of media, and they're all sort of crossing over and borrowing ideas and concepts from each other.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like the fact that we can have these experiences, why not?
I think that's the kind of the heart of it. Like, I think ultimately, the role of narrative and storytelling in video games isn't going to go away. I think maybe they move away from, I really brings up what Ken Levine's doing with Judas, because I've got a feeling there's going to be something quite special. It'll be the kind of like, it's still kind of more choose your own, I guess. It is a kind of branching narrative, but it's very much, I think, if you want to talk about the resolution of how detailed these like pieces of this narrative are, those Lego blocks of narrative are going to be pretty stellar, I assume. I hope. And having it, so I really, really hope, because he's been working on this game for a long time.
Game anyway.
He's been I don't know when we'll see this game, but that's kind of a little bit more experimental. There'll be and it'll be quite unique for each player. And I think Baldur's Gate's a bit like that. There is like an overall narrative, but I think everyone has a unique experience, and that's something that is unique to games. When I watch The Last of Us on TV, or even play the game The Last of Us, that is the story. The story is the story. And while we have different interpretations of it, it's the same experience.
Yeah, and in a way that creates an interesting form of meta-narrative where you as players can tell each other about the versions of the story you've experienced, which are different to everybody else's versions.
Yes.
I mean, like in a way that you end up with emergent narrative through, even silly multiplayer experiences, things like your battlefields and stuff like that, where something utterly ridiculous happens and you can end up kind of telling a whole story about that. Obviously that's not quite what we're talking about in terms of a game presenting a narrative to you, but in terms of creation of narrative through these interactive experiences, I feel that is relevant to the discussion, and that you can end up with these stories. For example, we've got some pretty good ones to tell later on about some of the funny business we've been up to, and we're going to tell those to you, and that's a fun narrative. So, and
they're fairly compelling too. Like, they're quite compelling, some of those stories you have of like playing, like, I talk about, we're going to bring back Call of Duty as per, but like the DMZ mode and having that experience of escaping the skinnier teeth again, like in the last evacuation helicopter, just managing to not get killed at the very end of a really hard fought match over those 45 minutes or whatever, and like just seeing other players like trying to take shots as they get taken down by enemy. Like, there is a story there. There's an arc of like
or even when our mate like just full on mugged some random guy for his cash.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and we're like, do we want this guy in our squad? Yeah, come join us, bro. Like, it's all sweet. You'll go. Yeah, it's like there are kind of moments in there, and that's not necessarily. And I think maybe like going back to like the core of it, the role of narrative. Maybe the role of narrative, we don't see as many. Of the kind of the classic Sony, here's the story, here's a linear progression, here's the thing, as so much as we see more experiences. Or maybe they just all live in harmony, and it's just like books and movies and TV. Like, there are so many different experiences. I think the ones who really want to push the boundary will do that, but everyone else will kind of like just do what works and what kind of people enjoy.
Yeah, I think I feel there are a lot of alternate forms of narrative that kind of spin out of video games. But I also think he's right that in a traditional sense, they are often not as good at telling a traditional story because the very fact that you are active in the story doing mechanical things tends to detract from that. And again, I think they hit their narrative strides when they use that interactivity to drive how you are feeling and put you in the shoes of someone else or give you a new perspective, which again can almost be more experiential, but it's a form of narrative in teaching you something or helping you feel something or exploring something that you haven't experienced or felt. And I think that's when it has its most direct connection and is at its absolute strongest. Whereas when it's trying to tell a traditional blockbuster movie style story, I think those can be really enjoyable, but also I think the gameplay elements don't necessarily add much to that, other than, as you mentioned, maybe sometimes some strengthened feelings towards characters. But in terms of enabling the narrative itself, I think it does very little for it. And in many cases, you probably absorb it better and feel more of it by watching it as a form of passive media.
Having less gameplay,
So I think I would say that in most ways, I reckon he's spot on. That yes, they're less suited to sort of traditional narrative, and I would also say that they kind of present some amazing opportunities for less traditional narrative, and I think we're getting more of that now than ever, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you go?
Yeah, no, you go.
I was going to say an example of less traditional narrative that this has got me thinking about is the story that's told through it's kind of a method of gamification of understanding the story. So games like Elden Ring that does not tell you the story
Yeah, true.
at
Yeah.
all.
At all.
And so it's part of the game, if you choose to engage with it, is to uncover that story like a detective. Go out of your way to piece the story together out of all the little breadcrumbs that are scattered through. And they've intentionally not told you the story. And so that's kind of, that's making another game loop within that game to discover that story and come up with theories as you're playing. Alan Wake's a bit like that too, right?
I was going to say Alan Wake's a great example of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Alan Wake 2 specifically.
Yeah.
It's a detective story as well, and there's so many mysteries going on. And as you play it, you've got the detective gameplay, which there are actual game mechanics towards solving cases and mysteries within the game, and that really works. Works to like really engage you in discovering what's going on. Like, it's asking you questions, and then it's also giving you gameplay mechanics to help you answer those questions.
Yeah, and I think Alan Wake's really good at that. Like Alan Wake 1 is a good example of how that it doesn't work. Because I really like the story, love the story of Alan Wake. It's so cool. But then I didn't, as we've discussed in the last episode, I couldn't deal with the gameplay. I was just not interested at all. Sadly.
Yeah, and that's one of those real good examples, where it's like the gameplay is actively taking you or forcing you out of the story in a way where you're not able to engage with it as effectively because you're like, I kind of hate actually playing this thing.
But the second game is the opposite. Like the gameplay isn't amazing, but it's just enough to make it kind of compelling, and like you kind of manage it. It's like the survival sort of survival shooting mechanics, and I really actually have really kind of enjoyed the combat in Alan Wake 2 because it's just enough. It's like a really good balance of like quite scary. You don't have that much where you're kind of balancing ammo, and it feels like the story, the movie parts of engaging with enemies feels like you're in a movie. So it's definitely like harkening some more back to the cinema style narrative, but at least the gameplay mirrors that, and it feels like I would be watching like a Resident Evil. No, that's not a good example. Those movies are crap. But like a horror film, like you kind of feel that, and it does well to not overstay its welcome, as well as introducing some interesting weird mechanics with like Alan Wake's primary, what he can do with the writing and changing the narrative that way. That's really interesting what he does. But we'll talk about that a bit later.
And in a way, that's a game all about narrative.
Yeah, exactly. Very meta.
It's an interesting meta concept that's we've Ouroboros ourselves here somehow.
Yeah, and I'd full circle.
I'd say, they're also with their games, they are exploring sort of multimedia storytelling within the package of a game. So including live action sequences, musical numbers, gameplay itself. Like they are trying to experiment with all of these things and just have fun with it. And
it is very unique like that, where all of the components of the multimedia experience are quite compelling. Like every single thing, like you'll stop there between chapters and just listen to the entire song because it's interesting and it tells you a bit more about the story. And you're like, it's just a very, very well realized game. Again, leans definitely into the cinema style narrative, but it is like probably like one of the best examples of that. Funny enough,
it's weird. It is an example of all of these different types of media coming together.
Yeah.
And working like
for sure,
and before we continue, I just thanks to Jordan for the question, because it's definitely a question that is always going on, like in the back of your mind, like whether that storytelling method that the developers have used, whether it's working or whether it's not working, like, you can tell. So it's like it seems to be this area that game developers are constantly exploring and trying to put their finger on, like what does deliver a good story.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, thanks for that, Jordan. It's great.
one of the questions he had, sorry to go back into it, was can we think of some games that are doing weird, interesting things to create a story without injecting book or movie techniques? And actually, if you think about it, there's actually like Pac-Man does that. There are like a lot of older games that really do that without needing story. Just the mechanics of interacting and doing a thing. And I would say even racing games kind of do that. Like they do not necessarily interesting things, but the things that you can't do in a book. You can't do a racing game in a book or a story. Like you can't really do that in a movie. That experience of racing a car against someone else, that is unique to video games.
And actually, even in the demos we've just been playing, I've experienced some interesting kind of takes on narrative in varying forms. Some of which are doing some weird stuff, so might chat about some of those a bit later.
Sounds good. All right, Dave, let's get into the news. What have we got?
All right, so we're gonna go from sort of interesting and cerebral to a little bit of a downer here, because oh boy, we're going to be talking about Microsoft, and we all know how that's going to go, but we kind of have to do it because it's big news at the moment. So first, let's talk about kind of what's been happening here, and the headline here from Andy Robinson at VGC is Microsoft CEO says YouTube monetizes Xbox better than we do, ahead of expected layoffs. So this is Satya Nadella, of course, making comments during a live event in San Francisco. And last week, Asha Sharma, Xbox CEO, sent a surprisingly candid note to staff in which she shared realities that we need to navigate, claiming that Xbox's annual revenue had declined nearly $500 million in 5 years. Ouch. With hardware costs up 4x and its studio system, quote, overextended. So I'm just going to pull back and let's examine the root causes of the hardware crisis here that they're talking about, because this is just a weird one. And while there are multiple things at play here, we've got to remember that the single biggest driver that is creating this massive cost increase is memory and storage shortages being caused by endless demand for these resources from AI data centers. And guys, who is one of the biggest players in the AI industry? It's Microsoft, i.e. Xbox's parent company. So essentially you've kind of got this subsidiary of Microsoft going, oh no, costs are very high, things are bad. And meanwhile, the parent company is kind of standing over their shoulder, like looking around going, who could have done this?
That's definitely me, mate. Yeah.
So anyway, going back into the article here, Nadella's comments on the Xbox division seem to echo Sharma's, and they are both saying that they need to find a more sustainable business model. And they're saying the challenge now for us is to think about how do you innovate both in hardware as well as in games going forward in an economically viable way. No one can accuse Microsoft of not having invested for the last 25 years, and now we have to turn this into a sustainable business that delivers what is fundamentally one of the best sources of entertainment still. So in other words, we have to make more money. According to Nadella, Microsoft's challenge in gaming is that it has not been monetizing its entertainment properly. In fact, if anything, we've been subsidizing that entertainment, he claimed. In fact, there's more monetization of Xbox games happening on YouTube than at
Game
Microsoft.
Pass, exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, like to be fair, yes, there have been some subsidizations going on there for sure. And okay, here's where it gets a little bit horrifying to me. So Sharma earlier suggested that Xbox was looking at ways to make its next console, codenamed Helix, more affordable amid an ongoing hardware crisis, including considering radically different business models. So guys, if no one can afford a console because your own company has made them unaffordable, what do? I think you rent hardware, right?
But,
not real hardware. You rent cloud hardware. So you.
Oh right.
I think we're having the groundwork laid here for we own nothing and we rent everything on a subscription basis, right? Like this has got to be where sort of cloud gaming and game streaming finally comes in, because if literally no one can pursue this hobby because they can't afford the base hardware to run anything on, then a radically different business model has to mean no hardware, right? Because what else does that mean? You know, it's thin clients. It's plugging into a wider network of hardware that isn't yours, because if you can't own the hardware, that's the only option. So if they're talking about radically different business models, to me, that's what that's got to be. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm out if that's the case. Well, I mean, hopefully the major players don't do it, because I'm not doing cloud gaming. No, I mean, yeah, I'm really into that. Just like the latency, and there's always going to be there's already a latency when you're playing online, like when you're playing like COD or Battlefield or whatever. Like there's more. Like I just want it to feel good, and it needs to feel how it feels now. And I don't know.
I mean, there's those
realize
practicalities. That. Yeah, there's those practicalities there of like, oh, this is not great experience-wise at the moment, but those can probably be largely overcome to a certain extent for a lot of things. Eventually, the bigger problem to me is just like you will be locked into just renting stuff because I don't know, everything's going that way in a really disturbing fashion to me.
We already are doing that though, right? Like,
to an extent.
No one owns music or like
exactly,
movies.
and it's just like this hobby going the same way. It's just you lose access to everything you've ever played unless you are paying monthly, which is a disturbing thought.
And I kind of feel that being in the arse end of the world, that we will be behind in the uptake and technology required.
Well, at least
maybe, although we're also having quite a lot of infrastructure built here because, one, we're quite cold, so we're good for that. We're good for cooling big data centers and server centers and things like that.
Yep.
And we're also, making it fairly cheap for people, so that's...
yes, definitely.
Yay.
Got thoughts on that, but yeah.
I had a brief foray into like the NVIDIA streaming service at one point, game streaming service. And it was not affordable. And
no.
Oh, really?
And latency was not great because something to do with they didn't provide like New Zealand hosted servers. So yeah, I had to go through Australia. So that was a bit of a didn't go anywhere before I even.
Yeah, and again, I guess the danger with all of these things is once the groundwork is laid, you just keep upping the prices, right? Because that's how all of these things have worked so far, while usually reducing the service as well, because again, the financial incentive, it makes sense to do that. It's the logical thing you do as a business. But anyway, attaching to the tail end of that, we have studios in Microsoft's Xbox division brace for closures, and this is where things get quite stink. So this is from good old Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg doing his usual deep reporting. And he says here, several studios in Microsoft's Xbox gaming division, including Montreal-based Compulsion Games and San Francisco-based Double Fine, are in active negotiations to spin off as they try to thwart closure, according to people familiar with the company's plans. Now, Cambridge, England-based Ninja Theory, the maker of Hellblade, the Senua saga, is also in conversations with Xbox, as are several other studios across the portfolio that are at risk of being shuttered. So, man, this really sucks. I mean, Double Fine is kind of a legendary studio. These guys have been around for 25 years with the original Psychonauts on the OG Xbox. Again, they're not a huge money-making studio, but they're a storied one who's been around a long time and just consistently produced kind of amazing stuff with just tons of kind of industry goodwill and people who love what they do. Likewise, all of these studios, Compulsion Games, Double Fine, and Ninja Theory, as it says here, have all made award-winning games that were not commercial hits. But even some of Xbox's more commercially successful studios are not yet sure how they will fit into the new schedule, or the new mandate, which will prioritize the biggest franchises as the company looks to return to growth. Compulsion Games released South of Midnight last year, and Double Fine, of course, best known for Psychonauts, released smaller games Keeper and Kiln over the last year, both of which were kind of fairly universally acclaimed as just kind of fascinating, interesting projects. Yeah, and also I believe that Ninja Theory are regarded with some degree of importance where they're based because they have excellent motion capture studio facilities, and so the risk of them being shuttering causes wider ramifications for numerous parts of the industry in the UK because they're using those facilities. It's because they've kind of got big state of the art motion capture rigs and allow other people to use them. So there's sort of wider issues there. And then with relation to Ninja Theory specifically, things get really yuck. With this headline from Jordan Midler over at VGC, Microsoft already planned Ninja Theory closure when it announced Senua, it's claimed. So just 10 days ago, UK-based developer Ninja Theory announced Senua, the third game in the critically acclaimed Hellblade series. However, since the game's announcement, the studio behind it has been the subject of multiple reports claiming it, along with Microsoft stablemates Compulsion Games and Double Fine, could close. When these reports were published, many were surprised due to the fact that Ninja Theory had only days earlier announced its new game for 2027. It's now being claimed that the impending changes in Ninja Theory were already well underway before the trailer debuted. So, according to GameFile, citing a source familiar with Microsoft's operations, plans were already in place to close the studio or sell it off when the game was announced. By the time that game was revealed, Microsoft had already planned to sunset or split with the studio. The thinking was that the promise of a newly announced game would help draw investor interest in the studio. The report states that it's currently unknown if anyone at Ninja Theory was involved in this plan. So this is literally Microsoft using Summer Games Fest as a meat market for their developers. So they're not advertising the game to the public. No, they're advertising the game to
investors,
commercial buyers. Yeah. Like, hey, can we get you in this sweet game here? Look at how much money this could make you, maybe. That's. And especially that line about like at the moment we don't know whether anyone at Ninja Theory was even involved in that, and the general sort of rumor seems to be that it's entirely possible that they had no idea about this, and so they've just been trying to put their game out there, and meanwhile Microsoft's just trying to sell them and or close them down, so then I guess we need to think about where this is all kind of heading towards. And this is, again, from VGC, Andy Robinson. Xbox reportedly given green light to fast-track new Fallout as Microsoft considers spinning off business. And this is where things get really weird. Microsoft is reportedly considering spinning off Xbox into its own separate subsidiary and fast-tracking plans for new Fallout and Elder Scrolls games. So they are literally considering just getting rid of Xbox, taking it off the books and making it its own thing. So that's according to claims that Microsoft hasn't ruled out spinning it out or restructuring it, or creating a joint venture with other partners, whatever that might look like.
Jeez, what does that mean?
Yeah, so if technically you might have a more autonomous company out of that, sort of running its own budgets without being under the the purview of Microsoft quite so much. But for an example as how this stuff sometimes seems to work, Microsoft currently operates LinkedIn and GitHub as wholly owned subsidiaries. And I'm just going to jump in here to note that from what I understand from some developer friends of mine, GitHub has developed a pretty bad reputation recently during its tenure under Microsoft. It was a massively widely used tool, and from what I understand, users are abandoning it in kind of record numbers at the moment because it's been suffering from increasingly frequent issues, outages, reliability problems, and generally getting less usable. So people are running from it, basically. And again, this is an example of a company running as a Microsoft subsidiary. There seemed to be some discussion there that part of it was them changing over to Microsoft's Azure services, for their servers versus what they were running before. So, yeah, not an entirely good set of examples, I suppose. And yeah, essentially all this leads to they don't have any plans right now as to what they're doing, but they haven't ruled out kind of completely throwing the entire Xbox division away as a liability, basically. Get it out of here. And then the other part of this is basically they are doubling down on their big franchises. So it's claimed that Xbox will move faster on developing new games in its biggest franchises, including Halo, Fallout, and The Elder Scrolls, with Sharma apparently particularly keen on Fallout and The Elder Scrolls. And to be fair, this is probably not a bad idea because it has been a long time between drinks for both Fallout and Elder Scrolls fans, which is frustrating for everybody. At least particularly Microsoft, I would imagine. But also, I imagine somewhere like Bethesda Game Studios or Bethesda Softworks has to be quite a difficult sort of place to scale. They're quite specific. What do you guys think we're going to end up with? More Obsidian Fallout or Obsidian Elder Scrolls?
Everyone wants New Vegas, right? I guess.
New Vegas.
Yeah, I think it's like it'll be a slam dunk, man. Like, but they haven't. There's no like pre-production. That would be a 5 to 6 years away from now. I mean, does Xbox exist in 5 to 6 years? I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, it's looking a bit suspect.
Just the hardware issue is like a major component of this, and I think even Sony's feeling that. Like, well, they're definitely feeling that. But like, is it enough to have more Halo, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls games? Does that make Xbox again?
Yeah, I mean, if
I don't know, man.
Bring them out on like Xbox One, I suppose, maybe.
Yeah, if they can bring them on this current hardware and
afford them,
this hard current generation and bring it out next year.
Maybe some Xbox Series S. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think the smart play is to kind of push this generation out as long as you can.
Yeah.
I think I've got a feeling GDA might, if it runs well or runs well enough on current consoles, it might buy the whole industry a bit more time because people are just going to be playing that for the next couple of years.
Just kind of keep extending the generation out a little bit longer, or at least contribute to that.
I mean, I think I would think the smart play would be 2028 for Sony and Xbox for them to release anything earlier than that, unless they purposely want to tank their hardware. Man, it's dire.
It's got to be 2028, 2029 minimum.
Has
surely.
to be.
Like,
yeah.
Again, none of us can afford a new console, and none of us really feel like we need one either.
I've just bought one.
We're getting pretty amazing results out of the current gen still. I mean, it's again, games don't need to look better than they look.
No, they don't.
They really don't.
No. They really don't.
Do you feel that they are making a shift to focus on their bigger titles and with getting rid of these other studios?
Yeah, I think
that's certainly what they've said.
That's
what they've been coming out and putting out there. They're basically saying we want to concentrate on our big IPs, and at the expense of everything else, essentially.
Then again, is it then naive to think that we're going to get these like actually good games out of these big IPs if the reason they're doing it is so that they're being less risk averse, right?
Yes.
I mean, and that's entirely debatable as well, right? Because hell, they kind of messed up Halo Infinite. It's Halo. Yeah, it's that's not to say Halo Infinite was a bad game, because it seemed to be quite a good game. But they really seemed to completely flub the kind of ongoing multiplayer aspect of it, which just seemed to completely trip over itself and die, unfortunately.
Yeah, didn't make the splash that they wanted to make.
No. But anyway, all of this has led straight into this headline from Christopher Dring over at The Game Business, Xbox Game Studios boss Craig Duncan steps down. So the head of Xbox Game Studios, Craig Duncan, has stepped down after more than 18 months in the role. So he hasn't been there that long.
That long.
He replaced former studio boss Alan Hartman in November 2024, oversaw Halo Studios, The Coalition, Flight Sim, Turn 10, Playground Games, Rare, Obsidian, Ninja Theory, Compulsion Games, The Initiative, Double Fine, In Exile, Undead Labs, World Edge, and XGS Publishing. And he departs the organisation this week, and Matt Booty will be standing in as the kind of interim chief content officer in the meantime.
Okay.
And although he hasn't been in the studio's boss role that long, he has been around at Xbox since 2011. And he, of course, ran UK developer Rare for nearly 14 years. And prior to that, he held various senior roles at Codemasters, Midway, and Sumo Digital, and worked across titles such as Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing, Wheelman, and Colin McRae. And meanwhile, Xbox Game Studios Chief of Staff, Louise O'Connor, will also be leaving the company. And she's also a former Rare staffer. Joined Rare in 1999, beginning as an animator on cult favourite N64 game Conker's Bad Fur Day, and she's worked in numerous art and production roles at the UK studio, and even won an AIAS award for voicing the character Leafos in Viva Pinata. So a bit of a multi-talented individual.
Yeah.
And she left Rare after Everwild was cancelled last year in 2025. And then became chief of staff in September that year. So, she too has stepped out because, from my perspective, this seems like it's pretty clear that these folks are going, because these are big jobs. The paycheck alone is, going to be pretty incredible. You're not just going to sort of step down from them for nothing. It seems like there's a pretty clear thing here of this isn't what I signed up for. I'm not here to fire thousands of people and run this into the ground. I'm out.
Yeah.
And the fact that both of them are going seems like a bit of a matter of principles at work. I mean, who's to know what the internal politics are here? But it seems like both of them are going. Nah, this is not us. We're out of here. So it seems like there's a bit of an exodus at that senior level of people who aren't liking where this is going, and I can't say I blame them by the sounds of it. But wait, there's more.
There's more.
There's more. So at least this one's just a big old communication screw-up, I suppose. So it's not as bad as the other ones. This is from Lewis Parker over at Kotaku. Xbox clarifies Halo campaign evolved. Speaking of fucking up Halo, won't require PSPlus for split screen after massive backlash. Oh no. So Halo campaign evolved will bring the sci-fi shooter to PlayStation 5 for the first time. And again, aside here, they're immediately going to stop making games for PlayStation. So, that's that era done and dusted, I suppose.
Yeah.
But anyway, according to a new post on Halo Waypoint, the remake will require both players. This is both players for, local split screen co-op to have PlayStation Plus and be linked to a Microsoft account, even if they just want to play the game's offline missions together. So for couch co-op, they're talking about you both needing to have an active paid PlayStation Plus account. What? Yeah. What are you talking about?
That sucks.
What?
That's so bad.
So anyway, they put this out in an official community Q&A, and the wording was thus: Xbox Series X and S, if you're playing split screen on an Xbox console, the second player will also need a unique Microsoft account. If you want to play online co-op, you will need an active Xbox Game Pass subscription. So neither of these things are particularly unexpected. I mean, the first part I still find kind of dumb, because surely it would be nice to just do split screen couch co-op without having an entire set of extra account hoops to jump through. But that's kind of where we're at as a paradigm. So, whatever. And then there's the description for PlayStation 5. If you're playing split screen on PlayStation 5, both accounts will need to have PlayStation Plus and be linked to a Microsoft account. Having these active PlayStation Plus subscriptions will also provide access to online co-op play. So that's a pretty clear factual statement, isn't it? Like, it doesn't sound like they're messing up the wording. That sounds like both of you need to be paying your subscriptions, right?
Rude.
Yeah. So anyway, after everybody absolutely lost their shit over this, they've come out and walked that back with this statement. We incorrectly stated that PlayStation Plus is required for local co-op split-screen play. Local split-screen co-op requires a PlayStation account for each player, but does not require a PlayStation Plus account. So, I mean, that doesn't really seem like unfortunate, ambiguous wording. It seemed pretty clear the first time around. What do you guys think?
You done messed up Xbox. Yeah. So wait, you do need a Microsoft account as well to play? Like, so
yes. So that's like the same situation as we had with Helldivers 2, where you needed a Sony account to play on Steam and things like that, and people lost their shit over that too because no one really liked that very much.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, that's annoying. That's dumb.
Yeah. So having to. Oh, sorry.
It's just annoying that you also need a PlayStation account for each player.
Yeah, I mean, you literally have to have 2 accounts each for each of 2 people. Yeah, why can you not just be player 1 hanger on?
Yeah.
You know, like we've always done for decades.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Make it a guest account.
It seems dumb.
They want our data.
Why?
Yes. Yeah.
Why are we doing
so things at Microsoft are not going great. I think we could safely say that. But what about Epic, guys? Surely Epic Games can save us.
Surely Epic. Probably not, but let's see.
Right, so this next headline: Fortnite boss hopes to take on Roblox, unveils Gen AI infused Unreal Engine 6.
Infused. Lovely.
This is from Mark Warren over at Rock Paper Shotgun, and all I have to say about that headline is, oh no, oh dear,
Why are we doing this? Why are we?
Epic Games CEO Tim Sweeney, overseer of a company which fired over 1,000 staff just a few months ago, has laid out his vision for the games industry's future during a time of both crisis and opportunity, quote unquote. As Epic revealed an Unreal Engine 6 packed with generative AI models designed to reduce the tedious work that goes into making games, Sweeney painted a picture of a future in which the threat of Roblox eating the world is combated by a bunch of game makers working with Epic to create a massive integrated everything-verse that's somehow totally different to Roblox's massive integrated everything-verse. And yeah, the general gist of this, and I watched a little bit of the State of Unreal presentation, just kind of skipping around, was that they seem to be leaning really heavily into generative tools. In some cases it seems potentially even for Unreal Engine 6 maybe even completely removing some of their visual coding tools in favor of Claude code, which is that's a step, sure. It seems kind of bizarre. And again, by the sounds of it, these are tools that a lot of developers have grown to really like, and kind of make a key part of their workflow. And they're like, now you can just use prompts instead. So this is seeming like a bit of a flail towards we are going to try and turn Fortnite and the kind of Unreal Engine in Fortnite program into another Roblox, essentially, where we'll try and get everybody developing their stuff inside our platform. And they, I think, are going to use the sort of hanging carrot on a stick of all of the big IPs that they've accumulated in Fortnite as being essentially available resources to people who want to develop in the system. So, hey, if you want to make your weird gacha game involving Star Wars characters or whatever it is, you can do that in the Unreal platform. Do you guys feel the urge to go out and develop yourself something in Unreal Engine in Fortnite using some sick IPs?
Oh, nah.
Well, it's got me thinking now because Epic just announced their new source control for game development as well, called Law, and with what they're spouting with Gen AI infused game development tools, I'm now wondering, like, if you host your game source code in their new source control tool, like, are they just scraping that for their Gen AI
Oh, right. So just
LLMs? Yeah.
probably. It's probably
Like,
You'd imagine so.
yeah,
you'd
in
imagine
the
so,
agreement,
right?
licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, you better read the fine print if you're going to be using this law, because it might just be all belongs to Epic. Or,
And of course, the one of the other integrations that they've mentioned is the fact that basically all the assets that you create will be kind of Fortnite ready. So hey, you can have your stuff integrated in Fortnite, which is kind of exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Okay. So Epic's not going to save us after all, I guess, guys.
No, it makes me a little bit ill. Yeah, it makes me a bit ill.
Concern with why a lot of developers are leaving Git, right? Because they're concerned about Microsoft just scraping their repositories.
Yes, 100%. That's been one of those other background things of sort of constant. I think even down to like constant pestering to sort of enable Copilot and things like that, which is something that developers haven't been wanting, and doesn't sound like a good time.
It just feels like a deliberate move from Epic to try and pull more data into their AI systems.
Yeah,
that it's then going to in turn power Unreal and who knows what else.
All of this just sounds like a massive race to the bottom. Like, how can we? It's output versus quality. And what are we seeing with like the games that are really successful right now? The games that are like not just like commercially like making money, but also like really acclaimed and adored. They're games that the developers have like really care about. They really truly believe it's bespoke. It is specific. It is very intentional. And the problem we're getting with a lot of this bullshit is just like, oh yeah, I can be Luke Skywalker. Fuck off with that shit, man. Like I don't hate Luke Skywalker, to be fair, like, but just the like the flippant nature of development for these AAA studios is just getting a bit. It's nauseating.
It's video game. It's video game fast food, right?
It is.
It's predictable. You know what you're going to get. It's kind of easy to chow down on, and it's also kind of soulless and lacking in flavor and personality and passion.
I don't know if it's really going to be successful though. Like I don't. There's always going to be that market that. Like, there's people that love that stuff, and I play Call of Duty. I kind of I chow down on that sort of shit. But like, for it to take over the entire game industry, for the Epic Games to really go down that path and really champion it, makes me nervous, and it makes me nervous how it affects other blockbuster studios like your CD Projekt Red, who are now using Unreal 5 for their games. Like, I don't know how that. Like, is it going to be? Like the Unreal trailer with just like terrible AI when they're trying to come up with scenery and sort of character models. Like, how long until we see our beloved studios use that shit? Man, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a bit concerning. I suppose on the positive side, again, looking at some of the stuff coming out of that State of Unreal presentation, was they do appear to be taking the constant reports of things like hitching and bad performance seriously. They do seem to be making some moves to finally address some of that stuff, because it sort of feels like it's been ignored a bit for a long time, like just people using it wrong, etc., etc. But yeah, they seem to be actually going, okay, we're trying to make some effort to track some of this down and figure out what's going on. So on that front, again, Unreal is still an engine that is used by tons of studios, and seeing it improve and hopefully get better under the hood is a very good thing. So
That is good.
That sounds great. Less sure about their sort of wild swings towards generative AI tools.
Yes.
Again, you can see how some of those things could be really interesting and useful. Again, they're showing off, I get stuff that's maybe a bit closer to machine learning, like converting video footage, 2D video footage straight into effectively kind of semi-cleaned up motion capture on a 3D character, things like that. That stuff's kind of fascinating and seems like it could be some really positive additions to people's toolboxes. So, there's good stuff happening there, leveraging some of these technologies. But again, a lot of it just feels like, oh boy, this just seems like a recipe for more slop.
Yeah.
And I don't mean the good kind of slop.
Yeah.
Because we're going to talk a lot about the good kind of slop later on. So, yeah.
I guess, it does depend on the studio, right? It depends on what the studio, if the studio can use the tools in a, tasteful way that sort of reduces their workflow and lets the creative entities in those studios be creative, then that could be quite good. But time will tell.
Yeah. So a bit of a mixed bag there. And I'm going to kind of completely pivot here now to something that kind of gives me the nostalgic warm fuzzies and takes me back to what I was saying about soundtracking my wake up in the morning to Doom soundtracks, because we're going to go right back to revisit the original Doom soundtrack. And unfortunately, we're talking about this because Bobby Prince, the composer of Doom's iconic soundtrack, has died at 81. This is from Chris Scullion at VGC. So Robert Keskin Bobby Prince III, who served as a platoon leader in the Vietnam War before turning to counselling, law, and video game music, which is, again, an aside from me here, a fascinating set of career choices. I mean,
Right those skills. Right those skills.
Yeah.
It's a great skill set.
Yeah, and so he died on Tuesday, his family confirmed, and he started composing video game music in the early 1990s and regularly worked with id Software and Apogee Software. And his work included the soundtracks for Wolfenstein 3D, Rise of the Triad, and numerous episodes of the Commander Keen series.
Oh, Commander Keen, nice.
And he was best known for composing the iconic soundtrack for Doom and its sequel, Doom 2, which was famed for its frantic, heavy metal-inspired tempo. Yeah, I mean, this man did some absolutely huge work. His stuff actually, provided so much of the soundtrack to my gaming childhood. I'm going to go over his kind of discography in a second because there's so much in there that, I whiled away the hours playing to, and a lot of it's just absolutely iconic music. And again, he was working with not much really, Apogee and 3D Realms co-founder George Broussard wrote his own obituary for Prince on X, calling him the epitome of a Southern gentleman. Bobby would often fly down for a week at a time on large projects like Duke Nukem 3D because he thought it was important to be in the office and mingle with the team and talk to people and dial in what sort of music was appropriate, Broussard recalled. Bobby could often be found with a recorder going around the office recording sounds for a game. It was a joy to have him in the office, and he felt like every other team member. One of Bobby's defining traits was his ear for melody. He created tune after tune that you could hum in your head. His music was sticky. He could effortlessly transition from happy, cheerful music in Cosmo's Cosmic Adventure or Commander Keen to dark and moody music for Doom, Rise of the Triad, or Duke Nukem 3D, or period-style World War II influenced music in Wolfenstein 3D. What that man did on an ad-lib card with limited instruments was staggering. That was one of the really remarkable things. It's like such a limited palette to use in those kind of early 90s periods. And yeah, he really figured out how to do a lot with it. It says here, looking back and considering his body of work, he was essentially the Hans Zimmer of early shareware games, which, totally. He was everywhere. And all of that came from him being so passionate about music and video games, which were just emerging, that it started as a hobby and was the polar opposite of being a lawyer, which, like I said, bizarre kind of set of career choices.
Yeah, he was practicing law at the same time.
Yeah. And I bet the shareware games didn't pay that much in comparison to the law, but I'm glad he did it. I'm glad he did it. To quickly go over his work here, So in 1991 alone, he did Catacomb 3D, Commander Keen and Goodbye Galaxy, Commander Keen and Aliens Ate My Babysitter, Rescue Rover 2. 1992, he did Wolfenstein 3D and Cosmos Cosmic Adventure. Man, I have some great memories of Cosmos Cosmic Adventure, and the music is fantastic. 1993, he did Biomenace, Duke Nukem 2, Blake Stone, Aliens of Gold, and Doom. Obviously, the absolutely iconic soundtrack there. 1994, Doom 2. 95, Realms of Chaos, Raise the Triad, Xenophage, Alien Bloodsport. 96, Duke Nukem 3D and Final Doom. 97, Balls of Steel, and 2014 he worked on Rack. So yeah, just a salute to a fellow who did a lot of amazing work there, and
Wow.
influenced a lot of people's childhoods, I would say.
That's a hell of a
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, there's many games on that list that you guys grew up playing.
Yeah, like all, well, not all of them, but like all the Dooms, Duke Nukems,
Duke Nukem. Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, Wolfenstein 3D, Commander Keen. Yeah, huge. What was Balls of Steel? Don't know if I played that.
Been a
Curious.
Oh, it's a pinball game.
Yeah.
Effect.
Look at that
man.
jump all the way to Rack, like 20
Yeah,
years.
they
from
must have
Balls
brought
of
him out of
Steel to-
retirement for a bit there.
Yeah, there'd be
Yeah.
some reason. There'd be some sort of connection.
Somehow
Who did,
coaxed him out. Yeah.
who did that game? Final Boss.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh man.
And another sort of shocking industry-related death is Ubisoft co-founder Claude Guillemot, dead at 69 after a plane crash in France. And this is from Michael Kripe at IGN. So Claude Guillemot, of course, is one of the 5 co-founders behind Assassin's Creed publisher Ubisoft. And he's just died in a plane crash. Guillemot, 69, was one of 2 passengers aboard a twin-engine plane known as a Cessna 421 when it crashed in La Baule. I'm butchering that pronunciation probably. I'm sorry, French people. A commune in western France on last Friday. And he was reportedly the aircraft's owner and pilot and was accompanied by a flight instructor, and both were killed in the crash. And of course, Guillemot and his 4 brothers, Christian, Gerard, Michel, and Yves, formed Ubisoft in 1986, beginning with games like Zombie and BAT. The brothers eventually turned the company into one of the biggest video game publishers in the world, and currently oversees IP like Rayman, Assassin's Creed, Watch Dogs, Tom Clancy, Prince of Persia, etc. Claude Guillemot was CEO and chairman of the Guillemot Corporation, which designs and manufactures interactive entertainment hardware and accessories, which I'm not actually familiar with. I don't really know anything about the Guillemot Corporation. Separate, obviously, to Ubisoft. And yeah, his brother Yves, of course, is currently the Ubisoft CEO. So yeah, that is that's a bit of a shocking one.
That's so down the that sucks. Yeah, sucks for their family, and obviously has done a lot for the industry.
Yeah.
Some iconic games.
Just imagining them, the brothers just starting up a video game development company way back in the 80s.
Yeah, before they were like a massive thing, right? Well, they sort of started
Yeah.
getting video games were sort of becoming more mainstream, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all of these things kind of started out as a garage industry, right? People were making games out of their houses and their basements, and
something they would have been passionate about, and just took a dig at it, and worked out pretty well in the end. Well, in terms of the business, but,
worked out big for sure. I mean, there's undeniably a big influence for better and for worse. The Guillemot family, you might say, they've been big, important players, and obviously, like I said, Claude himself not currently involved with Ubisoft, but they've certainly been prominent. And we've got another one here. This from you, Len.
Sorry, this might not be the last. Do you have news, Nate?
Yeah, I've got one.
Do some good news. There's some good news.
Yeah.
Please.
So,
Good
please.
news.
so my news, my one piece of news is unfortunately bittersweet. So hopefully Nate can save and steer the ship into something a bit more positive.
see.
But
Steer us to less
into
troubled
the
waters.
yeah, exactly into the Gabe Cube. This is from Jacqueline Thomas at IGN. So the Steam machine is finally here after looming on the horizon for the last 8 months or so. And while Valve has been adamant that the Steam machine is an entry-level gaming PC rather than a new fourth player in the console space, this little box has captured the attention of console and PC gamers alike. So a few key notes here. I think it's at 1,049 US. So that's the base model.
Nearly $1,900 New Zealand.
New Zealand, and that's with no controller. No controller.
Yes, that's the bare bones.
Yeah, but most of us have a PS5 or an Xbox controller with, so hopefully. But if you don't, this is your first console, it might not be the best choice. So over to IGN then saying it's easily the best living room PC that they've ever used, despite being a bit weaker than either of the base consoles. But they think that what's truly impressive is that it is able to do that while also being one of the best ways to get into PC gaming in the first place. PC gaming has always been expensive, and the Steam machine is certainly no different, but Valve was able to cut away most of the tinkering and just get new players into the game. So a couple of keynotes. The performance, I think, is a little bit worse than the PlayStation and the Xbox. Definitely they're screwed over by the AI race that's occurring around the globe. It's the RAM, it's everything. Is it all components are just expensive now? I assume I'm not really up to play.
Most things have gotten
Everything,
more expensive, but
particularly
storage and RAM are the worst. Yeah.
Technically, the price, I think, is similar from what I could tell online to how much it would cost to build the equivalent PC, and that's with a full-size case. But I think as Linus's Tech Tips might have been able to do it for a bit cheaper, but he might have contacts / better deals. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I'd like to get one. If it was cheaper, I'd consider getting one. Because the ROG is really cool, and it lets me play friend slop with these guys, but it's not super powerful. It struggles a little bit. And to be able to play my Steam games on the couch would be really good. I kind of thought, I kind of wonder if that's where Xbox is going with the next console is let Steam on it, and then you open if you can bring wait for a bit, bring the cost down of this console, and then put Steam on, let Steam do their thing on it, basically compete with the Steam machine. Then you're probably going to do all right. I think.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, that's given that Microsoft is a service company, that's a nightmare for them, right?
Yeah, I know.
They're losing all of their revenue cut to
Steam.
A rival, basically, on hardware that they are probably having to subsidize in order to get it out for an affordable price. Because for comparison, the Steam machine is not subsidized. Valve is basically coming out and saying, yeah, this thing's we're not giving it to you for less than cost because there would be no point in us doing that.
We've got to make money.
Because their numbers aren't big enough to kind of justify that. That being said, like you've said, it seems like they're not massively overcharging for this thing. It seems like given the components that are in it, you would be looking at similar prices for sort of building your own, like you said. And the appeal of this is it's a really nice little kind of surprisingly small, apparently, package. That is just kind of ready to go out of the box and gives you the closest you could kind of get to a console-like experience from a PC by the sounds of it. So
I like it.
It seems like there's a lot of positives there. It's just that I think there's some serious headwinds against it. I mean, obviously that price is expensive. For a little lounge cabinet top PC, it's a lot of money, and it's not enormously powerful by the sounds of it.
For sure.
From what I understand, it sounds like some of Valve's own claims about its kind of 4K capabilities may be a little bit optimistic, perhaps. Like it's not really able to run things quite as well as you might hope. Because again, you're dealing with something where, the level of optimization that's going on consoles is still significantly better, or at least significantly more specifically tuned than things are on PC. So, equivalent or more powerful hardware in the PC space is often struggling more just because things are not specifically tuned for it. And it sounds like that is what is happening here too. So, it's kind of technically on par with a PS5 but the reality is not quite like that, which
Just
is not surprising.
The base
PS5, yeah. It's kind of
Pro.
similar, not quite as good. But there's like that. It's FSR. Is that AI upscaling? Is that the
frame?
Yeah, that's a form of upscaling.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could sort of swing it towards being a little bit more powerful, but it's still not as powerful as a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is actually cheaper. It's like 200 in New Zealand, $250 cheaper at its inflated costs. So it's still better value. You just can't.
Yeah, and again, that's a scale thing, right? Like again, Valve just hasn't had quite the same buying power because they're not dealing with the quantities that a Sony is. And I mean, Sony's having trouble with this stuff. So it's really not surprising that the Valve have been a bit screwed by this. So yeah, it seems like a fair price. I mean, comparative to what else you could buy. But also I think it's going to give it just so much headwind. I don't think we're going to see many of these things out in the wild, which really sucks. I was really kind of hoping that this might be, a bit more of an entry point for particularly SteamOS and Linux. Like I would love to see more kind of Linux gaming PCs out there. It's something I would like to make a move to at some point in the future, I think.
Me too.
This would have been a good kind of Trojan horse for that, I think. And it seems like, unfortunately, it's not quite going to be widespread enough at this kind of price point. And I think that's why they've been holding off, trying to see if they could manage anything to get the hardware prices on these things, and it clearly hasn't happened for them because obviously they don't want it to be for sale for this price. Like it's not good for them either. But also it's fixed hardware. It's hardware that's been manufactured. It's the longer you leave it, the more out of date it's getting, and that kind of leads me to one of the other potential drawbacks to this thing compared to, say, just a stock standard build it yourself type of PC. Is that it's a lot less upgradable than one of those.
True.
It sounds like basically the only really replaceable components in this thing are effectively RAM and storage. Like almost everything else you're kind of locked in with. And so it's much less flexible and much less able to keep up. It's kind of just going to be frozen in its current state, more or less. And so again, that makes it much more prone to becoming outdated. Because as someone who's had a PC hanging in there for like at least the last kind of 12 to 14 years now, just slowly replacing parts as they get too old or too stuffed to function, just keeping it limping along. You can do that for a surprisingly long time. But yeah, this thing's going to be a bit locked into 2025/2026 specs forever, really.
Or 2020 specs if you're comparing it to PlayStation 5 or Xbox.
Well, yes.
2020.
This is true.
It's already 5 years old, or 26 years old, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
It'd be interesting to see what like hardware modders do when they get their hands on it. Maybe they uncover some ways to extend it.
Absolutely. I'm sure there's plenty of things you could do, but again, for your average consumer, it's going to be significantly harder than if you say just bought a case and chucked some bits in it.
Yeah.
Again, the upside of that is it looks really sweet.
It looks so cool. Yeah. There's probably a $300 tax on just how cool it looks, Like I get that. I get that premium. That's cool, man. Like I dig it. Like I would like that too. I've got a space in my entertainment unit for that, but no, I don't. Yeah, it's just not. The games I play on Steam don't need the PlayStation 5. They need the ROG is fine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Also, apparently, you can't get them here. So.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't even matter. Even I had a lazy $2,000 sitting around.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Gabe. You live here, bro. You hook us up.
Yeah. Hey, Gabe Newell, if you're listening to the podcast and you'd like to sponsor us with a Steam machine, let me know. You can contact us at
send us a DM.
Yeah. Not on TikTok. We don't have a TikTok, unfortunately. So hopefully, Nate, you've got something a little more positive to drop us.
Yeah. So it is a bit of a late news, but I feel it's important to cover. It's around the formation of the Rockstar Union.
Oh,
that
Oh yes, right.
finally the Rockstar developers in the UK back late May formally announced that they have formed a union, and that's of course following on from the 30 employees that were fired last year for cases of gross misconduct in quotation marks.
and speaking of which, it sounds like those said employees have had a little bit of a partial win in their court case as well. So that's good. It sounds like that legal action is not going away in terms of Rockstar's union busting efforts.
Yes.
So I hope they get held to account for that.
Yeah,
That's crap.
Unfortunately, they were denied interim support as part of their ongoing legal battle with Rockstar. So the employees were asking for, sort of interim pay while the court case was being played out over the course of this year.
Right.
It's still in process, but that's been denied by the courts.
Oh right, okay.
It's a bit of a shame. But yeah, so the union is called the Rockstar Games Workers Union, and it's a subsidiary of their IWGB, which is Independent Workers Union of Great Britain. And so they were, they're the organisation that's been helping them advocate for the developers that were laid off, and then also helping them with their legal representation in courts against Rockstar. So I mean that's great news for them that they've really like pulled together. They've formed this union, and now they're working with IWGB to fight back against Rockstar on behalf of these employees, which were
Nice.
unrightfully dismissed as part of what they call the most blatant example of union busting to have ever happened in the video game industry. So that's
I mean, it seems pretty raw, doesn't it? And I mean, again, it's nice to see places like the UK still not taking this kind of thing quite as pathetically as places like the US do these days, when they're kind of like, we'd still like some workers' rights, please.
Just a couple, like was the coast, eh? Yeah.
So this union represents workers in Edinburgh, London, Leeds, Lincoln, and Dundee.
Right.
So that's all of Rockstar's offices in the UK.
Excellent. That is good news. That's good.
Yeah.
To hear.
It's definitely some of the better news of the fortnight.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah. Hopefully they drag them over the coals and I don't know
what can afford to pay. Yeah.
What that would look like for these workers that have been fired, whether they're reinstated or whether they're compensated or. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to go back and work there again, are you? So reinstatement's not going to be much of an option, but you would certainly hope they could be compensated for, again,
and what does that compensation look like? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
In the millions, or just depending on I don't know what the sort of legal consequences are for that sort of. For union busting, but
yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, probably a metaphorical slap on the wrist for most of these companies, because there's a reason they keep doing it. Because even if they do suffer consequences, they're generally not that major.
They've definitely
at least with the numbers they're dealing with on a daily basis.
Yeah, exactly. They've definitely done the cost benefit analysis for for doing nefarious things against their employees.
Absolute wankers. Yeah.
They pay a guy to make these decisions, and
it doesn't look good for these developers too, having been laid off in the way that Rockstar, the story that Rockstar is.
Especially when they're going out and saying, "Oh, well, they leaked company secrets inappropriately." That's a heck of a black mark to have on your record.
Yeah,
people believe your employer.
And so, how do you retract that as a company as big as Rockstar, or how do you compensate people enough to cover for that, defamation,
for the loss of income down the track, or the defamation, or libel, I don't know. It's the
Yeah. Oh well. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, it'd be good to see a few more of these big employers maybe just taking a little bit of effort to not be assholes to their employees, because
not to be
the people
knobs.
who make the money at the end of the day, hey, it's
exactly.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Well, we have been playing a lot of things. Shall we talk about some of those things?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
think
much cool
it's-
stuff.
I think it's time. I think it's
Heck
time.
yeah, I think it's time. So, shall we start with some of the things that we've all or partially played
Played together?
together? Because we've
Sounds good.
managed to do a little bit of multiplayer stuff here.
And then we can
We actually did
diverge
quite a bit.
into our individual.
Individual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, how about we start with like some of the themes we are noticing throughout all of the things we've been playing? I would say the things I've been picking up on are everything's a bloody roguelike deck builder of some sort.
Everything.
And also everything has mushrooms in it for some reason. I
Yes,
don't
a lot
know
of
what that's
fungal
about. a
Perpetuation.
lot of fungal theming.
Yeah.
Have you guys noticed anything else running through stuff?
Like sort of, like what's the word for it? Like devolution of graphical, like
Yes.
back
yes.
to like PS1,
Yeah.
PS2, and really just
Yes, a lot of
embracing it.
nostalgia bait, right?
Yeah.
No, not bait. It's just just that
Nostalgia slop.
Oh, nostalgia slump.
I've got to challenge you guys not to use the word slop over the next.
The more you challenge us, the more we enjoy it.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Yeah, it makes it really enticing. Yeah.
What about this one? What about mate bait?
Oh my god, I kind of love that.
I don't hate it.
It sounds
I don't hate it.
Serious?
really filthy as well.
Yeah. It is. Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a
let's
bit
go
yucky,
for a
but
quick.
like
Let's go for a
funny.
quick mate bait.
Yeah. You guys up for some mate bait tonight? We're gonna go mate baiting.
Go
We're
for
gonna go
mate
mate baiting tonight.
Some mate bait.
Just have a quick mate baiting session, eh?
Yeah. We'll get there. We'll
Just
It's made it worse.
yeah.
That seems to be
Yeah.
the theme of you and trying to, like. Ooh.
Oh
swear.
man! All right. Well,
I'll
let's
keep trying.
discuss the mate baiting sessions we've been indulging in over the last couple of weeks. So, Len, me and you had a bit of a private mate baiting session while Nate was busy playing some Impulse.
Yes.
What would be your like back of the box quick description of Impulse?
So this is from the devs of ex devs from Titanfall. Is that right?
So this is from 1047 Games, so it's the Splitgate guys. So they had the
Splitgate,
controversy with the dude in the dumb hat who came out and said dumb things on a stage, and then everybody kind of went, "Oh, you're a bit of a dick."
You're a nub. Okay, so
Blizzard.
it feels like
No, that description kind of applies to Blizzard as well, but no.
actually,
Oh no.
yeah. Yeah, I wasn't very good. I'm not very good at first-person shooters on mouse and keyboard. I'm pretty shit. But I like the just jumping around and shooting, attempting to shoot people. The arena shooter with mechs. I didn't get into a mech though. Did you get into a mech, Dave?
I briefly got into a mech and then I got immediately slapped to death. Yeah, so I lasted about 10 seconds. Yeah, so it's basically a Titanfall-esque arena shooter. Really, I think is how I describe it. Is that?
Oh right, yeah, that's
like it kind of fits the bill.
that sounds accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like a lot of movement options. Like you've got sort of double jumping, grappling hook. You can kind of
Slides.
you've got like sticky wall running, so you can just kind of jump up on a wall and start wall running around. So lots of freedom of movement, which feels really good. I've got to say, like running around just kind of makes you feel real badass. Speaking of Power Fantasies.
Speaking of Power Fantasies, yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Problem was, then my Power Fantasy got like immediately destroyed every 10 seconds by a bunch of dudes who were, actually good.
It was humbling. It was very humbling.
Humbling is the word.
As a Call of Duty guy who's like not bad. I'm probably maybe above the bell curve, just above the bell curve, but yeah, that made me feel it brought me back down to earth. To be fair,
Yeah, embarrassing
appreciate
is possibly another
Embarrassing
word
is,
for it.
is another word. Yeah, it was. I was under you, man. You were doing better than I was. I think. Yeah. I think there was a bot doing better than me. Yeah, we're pumped.
We got absolutely shit on. Yeah, no, it was
Pumped. These
I
guys
had
are like
fun.
flicking around. I was like, oh. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was cool. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I had fun, but I was not contributing to the team. That's for sure.
No, I was detracting. I was subtracting from the team is what I was doing. I was
Yeah,
making
same.
it worse for everyone involved.
I don't know. The other team were having a good time with our
Oh, true.
involvement,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I'm glad I could
They
be
were
part
like,
of their.
these guys are good target practice.
Oh, the best target practice. We're really
Although
moving,
they
eh?
might have started to feel a bit bad for us by the end. I'm not sure. There might have been some sympathy kicking in.
Yeah, maybe.
Does it?
But
As someone like who didn't play it, and look at the trailers, is it a little bit sterile?
yeah, I mean, definitely.
yeah,
the
I'd say,
look
yeah,
of
that's-
it, the look
yep,
of it is
yeah.
pretty sterile. Yeah,
Yeah. I wasn't playing
Yeah,
on
it's
super
very-
high fidelity, but yeah,
very
generic.
clean arena shooter vibes. I think they're probably going for. Well, it feels like the whole thing is geared towards kind of maximum readability and legibility of the environment and the people and things. I mean, there's giant outlines around people and things like that. Like they want to make absolutely sure that you're not missing people. It's really just about kind of avoiding fire through movement more than anything else.
Yeah. That tracks right, I think.
Yeah, and I've got to say, like, when you could occasionally pull something off, like at one point I managed to kind of get a sweet wall run, grapple into a building, fly through the air and like this massive jump, and then I somehow managed to just accidentally headshot some poor unfortunate who happened to be looking the wrong way at the time. That felt real good.
It was cool, yeah. The like double jump into grapple into midair. I did that like one time. Yeah. That was
Yeah, you
pretty
come out
sweet.
the other end of it and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, good, I'm good.
Yeah, and then someone
Then you get
headshots
shot in
you
the
from across
face.
the
Yeah.
arena. Yeah, you're like, there we go. Humbling.
Yeah, and then Nate, you did join us for a wider three-way mate bait session for Over the Hill. Do you want to start us off on this one?
Oh man, I love this game. This is
Same.
probably one of the games that I want to go back to the most.
It was really good.
100%.
Yeah,
It was great.
it's like a. Oh God! Now you've challenged me not to use the bad word. It's a game you play with friends, where we each drove like a 4-wheel drive vehicle through the wilderness, similar to I guess, Mud Runner and Snow Runner, but much more like chill, and although not so chill in some parts.
A little bit stressful in parts out here, but stress
Yeah.
in some parts when you're like
Yeah, it's like
rolling
this
down
is
a
kind
hill.
of the nice hippie version of Mud Runner or Spin Tires,
Yeah,
right? Like Spin Tires is so it's like very, very kind of Eastern European in its punishment levels. Like it kind of hates you, but it's also a very cool dad game where you've like got to figure out all the technical systems of a massive Russian army truck and then like use it to cart logs around, and then like 30 minutes into your log and run you get stuck in some massive piece of mud, and then you've got to go back and get another vehicle to try and unstick yourself, and then you get that one stuck too, and then you rage quit and uninstall the game. But then you come back because not a wuss.
Not a
But this one's much less punishing. But Nate, why don't you tell us about what happened when we did our little challenge run and we were up on top of a big hill?
Yeah, that was great. You guys really stuck with it and didn't give up. So it was, I think there's like a quite a large map that's all sort of got fog of war. And did you guys have that sort of fog of war? Like there was a lot of undiscovered stuff.
Yeah.
And then you would spot a little landmark or icon on the map and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over there and discover what that is. And then you have to try and navigate the terrain. And you've got 2 modes, low and high gear, to help you, generate more torque to deal with different variations in the terrain. But there's also, it's very momentum based as well, right? So if you start slipping down a slope and your torque isn't going to be enough to overcome the slide, that slide sort of beginning to drag your vehicle down the hill, then it's kind of all over. And
Gravity
so,
wins.
yeah, that's right. And so I think you guys, it was a fairly inconspicuous little traverse, and you guys made it look so easy. And I was following up the back. Yeah, and I don't know what it was. Like my back wheels started sliding, and then it turns out there was a huge cliff down the left side of the mountain, and I just, like, my vehicle just slid, and then it just started rolling over and over, and then got caught on this massive boulder, like halfway down the cliff face. And then what ensued was you guys came to rescue me by who went first? I think it
The
was you,
strong inverted
Dave.
commas around rescue there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say.
Yeah. The first rescue attempt was Dave trying to come, I think, like nose first down the slope. And it just ended up in you like snowballing past me down the hill. I just watched you like roll past.
Yeah, I think I did the same. I almost ended up blowing up my truck.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom. And it was just complete chance that I'd hit this boulder and landed in like upside down in this really awkward spot on the hillside. But you guys didn't give in, and you rallied together, and then you sort of made your way up the slope, and you fire these grappling hooks, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a sort of winch system that you can like whip onto things real quick, which is quite fun.
Yeah. And you got just the right angles and like winched yourself up, and then somehow like winched me back over. And then we all slid back down the hill together to the bottom.
Yeah, which again was like one of those great examples of that kind of narrative, emergent narrative thing where it's like the fun was in us just trying to do the difficult, stupid thing rather than going for a respawn and trying again. It was way more fun to just kind of try to get you out of that situation and like get ourselves into more problems. It was great.
It was
I really enjoyed that.
And the whole time I'm just loving watching you guys try and like navigate this terrain with this like really chill, like what kind of music would you call that?
It's like indie acoustic, but also like synth as well. Like
depending
where we were,
almost the Mountain Goats-esque kind of banjo music and some synthy stuff. And
so nice,
just lots of real chilled out stuff.
Yeah, the music is top notch in that game.
Really set it. Yeah, it really was.
The whole thing's got that nice kind of low poly flat art vibe to it. You know, lots of no real texturing most of the time. Just lots of kind of nicely lit, nicely coloured, vibrant environments. They were just really nice to explore and discover things, and the whole thing was just great vibe.
Yeah,
great vibe.
And the lighting was actually quite nice as well.
It really was.
The way the headlights shone in the rain.
Yeah.
Really, really nicely done. Very fun.
I too am very keen to go back to some more of that. Like that might be one we actually have to invest in the full game of, I think.
I'd like to, because there's a little bit of progression, so you can unlock like other vehicles and upgrades to your engine and stuff, and it's all like tied to whatever vehicle you select. So you can pick a vehicle, upgrade the crap out of it, and do it for all the other vehicles. So there's a little bit of like kind of carrot dangling there from the game to make you want to play it, but it's not very stressful.
A little bit of gentle grinding.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, gentle grinding. Yeah. But it's definitely
now. If we want to talk about something that absolutely did not treat any of us gently.
It's the complete opposite of
my god!
Shall we talk about the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu? So this is one that Nate, you kind of wanted us to check out. Why don't you give us the rundown, and then I will give a little bit of a description of what happened.
And I'll cap it off with some of my experiences. It's a whole thing.
Yeah. So this was a real mind twist. This one, so the Mound, Omen of Cthulhu is so it's like a party based. What are we calling these types of games?
It's like a sort
like
of
an
PvE
extraction
extraction game,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, extraction game. Yeah.
Yeah, but imagine it's set in the jungle during almost like colonial times.
I think so. Yeah.
Sort of
and you're
mysterious island with conquistador-esque
Yes.
explorers.
Yeah, and so your expeditions are into the jungle to locate and loot, the the local natives' artifacts. You probably
Yes,
shouldn't be
as you
looting.
do.
But it was okay back then, that was fine. And bring them back to sell in a museum, I'm guessing. And yeah, so each expedition, also your base of operations is a sailing ship that's anchored off the coast of the jungle, and on board the captain sort of assigns you with a mission, as well as how much loot he would like you to retrieve from these poor natives. And then you sort of prep your expedition by buying simple things like a map or a magical compass that points you to the location of treasure. As well as,
And to be fair, the map was quite expensive, right? Like it was a bit of a
Yeah.
luxury. Kind of when we did manage to take a map with us, it was like ooh, we're spending all our money on a map.
Yeah.
really
so
investing on this
the loot.
expedition.
Yeah.
As well as some weapons. You could purchase a bow, and was there anything else like a sword? Did somebody buy a sword at one point?
An
Yeah,
axe.
usually had choices between sort of a few different melee weapons and pistols and muskets and bows and arrows, things like that.
Yeah, and then so you're all prepped for your expedition, and you launch off in your rowboat, and then when you hit the shore, you embark into the jungle. But as you do, things get weirder and weirder, and
And mechanically, you kind of have a cart that follows you around. So as you're going around collecting loot and things like that, you have old mate on the cart who follows you to a certain extent at a bit of a distance, and you can use that as your main kind of inventory drop box, where because it only gives, it's extremely minimal inventory. You only get like 5 items that you can carry with you, and at least one of those is your weapon. If you're using a bow and arrow, it's like your arrows in one slot and your bow in another. So you're very limited in what you want to take with you, and then you've got to cart your loot back to the horse and cart, and when you're ready to extract, you kind of tell him to get out of here, back to the beach, and then you can
and you
follow
hoof
them
it
out.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah. Because as the deeper you go into the jungle, the more weird stuff starts to happen. Like you encounter baddies which have been corrupted by some sort of, oh god, do you remember at one
Thing.
point you were
Some sort of
vomiting
thing.
centipedes?
Yes, the
Worms?
vomiting centipedes was unpleasant. I've got to say that was that was rough.
Wild.
And then, if I can jump in here with where things got real weird, so this is where it got really funny and frankly spooky, unnerving, one might say.
Yeah.
So we all played as the game advised us to on prox chat only. So turned off Discord, things like that. So we're playing on in-game prox chat. So it has a quite limited range, so people get out of hearing quite quickly, and there's a strong incentive to kind of stay together because there are insanity mechanics, I guess, that start coming in.
I think
when
so,
we're
over
split
time,
up from
yeah.
each other. Yeah, so that the environment really starts targeting you if you split off on your own.
Your guys'
And makes
voices
things
went
a lot more difficult.
when I went off by myself for a little bit, you guys' voices like become really ethereal, and like it was such a cool sound effect. It was kind of like coming out of the trees. It was weird. It was so weird. Hard to
Weird.
describe.
Weird.
And of course,
'cause
one of the
the further
ways you
we
can
were-
regain your sanity is by doing mushrooms. So the mushrooms come into this one.
You can get shrooming, man. Get shrooming, eh?
Yeah.
And I love how it cures your insanity, like by just eating.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's these kind of isolation mechanics. So it encourages sticking together to a certain extent, but also to be efficient, you kind of need to split off from each other a little bit in order to gather enough treasure to make your mission objectives and things.
So.
And explore things enough. So it's a real kind of tightrope, which is quite a nice mechanic. But yeah, basically not that long after we jumped in, we're kind of getting things figured out. We'd gone and got quite a bit of treasure. We'd killed off a few sort of zombie pirate dudes. We'd thrown up some centipedes and murdered the centipedes. We were feeling pretty good about ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we lost track of Nate for a bit. So me and Len were wandering. We turn around and we realise we can't see Nate anymore. And of course that means we can't hear him anymore. So we're like, dang it. Okay, we better go and find Nate, see what's happened to him. So we run back looking for him. We eventually find him, and he'd had a few connection problems up to this point. Like we'd had some little disconnects and stuff. Pretty much, we find him and we're like, "Oh, Nate, come on, man, let's go back to the cart. We'll take the last of our treasures back and get out of here. Like we're pretty much ready to extract." He doesn't say anything, which is like a little bit weird.
Yeah, he's still moving.
But we're like, yeah, he's moving around. He's looking at us, etc., etc. And we're like, okay, whatever. So he comes back with us out onto the beach, and we're all sort of standing around the cart. Nate's hanging back a little bit, and I turn around, look back at him, and he's waving at me and like beckoning to me to come back to see him. We're like, oh, what's he doing? Never mind. He's just being weird. His microphone's probably dropped out as it happens sometimes. Anyway, he comes over and he goes up to the cart. We've just put the last of our treasure in the cart's inventory. He opens up the cart's inventory. We're assuming he's putting his stuff in, all normal so far. And then we're talking about some stuff, and then he just gaps it.
Yeah,
we turn around and Nate's just sprinting for the tree line. We're like, what is he doing? And then Len turns around, looks in the cart, and he turns to me and he goes, "You're like, bro, he just took half the treasure."
He took our stuff.
I'm like, what? What are you talking about? What is he doing? So we're like, do we go after him? What is going on? What's he playing at? So we're like, we run after him.
Yeah. And I've known Nate for a long time, so this is the kind of like antics he would pull on us because it's funny. I appreciate that. Like I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But then on the Discord, I'm like, oh, hey, how are you guys getting on? Like I'm still loading in, and I was like, what? Wait a minute. Was this after we found him and?
So I think at this stage we didn't quite know what was going on. We chased him down. We finally caught up with him as he's like going into the forest, and all the time we're yelling. We're like, Nate, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Stop it! Come back! And then he turns around and like squares off with us, like draws his machete, and we're like, whoa, what? What is happening? What is going on? And we're talking to each other. We're like, do we murder him? Do we kill him?
Yeah.
Well, we pulled the trigger eventually.
So eventually I like start whacking away at him from one side, and he starts. Nate starts hitting us back, and then Len gets around behind him and just like puts a musket straight into his back at point blank. It was rough.
I shot him and I was like, I don't want to do that. Then we get a message on Discord.
Yes. Then we get
a message. Hey, I'm loading and I won't be sick. And I was like, wait,
at this
what?
point we're like, what? Pardon?
I assume that's a game mechanic of like once if someone disconnects, then the weird shit goes on. I'm really like that's quite advanced for.
I'm still not 100% sure what was going on, but
or was that a player?
It was definitely acting like a player, and I assume it was AI rather than another player randomly dropping in. But whatever or whoever it was, it managed to do quite a convincing job of acting like a player. And took all our treasure because our treasure just disappeared. We still don't know.
We never found it again.
Then anyway, we carry Nate's body back to the card, and then when we get there, Nate's waiting for us.
Yeah.
And he's like,
yeah.
"Oh, hey
He was
guys,
there.
what's up?"
Yeah, hey, guys.
Oh,
Dude, it's so weird. It
wild,
was such a
wild.
weird.
could you imagine if it
Experience.
was actually just me the whole time?
I mean, we're still not sure.
I could imagine that. I think, like, are you getting us back for the friend swap thing? I don't know. Like,
Well, I
playing
have
the
a
long
confession.
con,
I have a confession.
or was it you?
It was me the whole time.
Or was it actually? Oh
Yeah,
no, but you were there.
it was me the whole time.
Did you steal? But where did the treasure go?
I stole it and I ran off with it.
But where'd you put it?
Where did the treasure go?
So the series of events was I got a disconnect, right?
yeah.
So that did happen.
Oh my god. Yeah, my god. Yeah. Well, yeah, that
It's
happened
like,
for
I'm
sure.
not going to tell you guys until the podcast.
Oh my god,
Oh,
Recording.
it's so
this is
good.
the worst
I'm just gonna
anime
let you
betrayal
perpetuate your
storyline.
own- Yeah, your
This
own wild
I
theories.
love this. This is so textbook, Nathan. I love it. It's this is good. It's so
So
good.
I DC'd and then I came back in, and like I wasn't planning to do this, right?
It just happened.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
And I came in and my mic wasn't working, and I was trying to talk to you guys, and Dave's like talking to me. He's like, blah blah blah, like trying to understand what was going on, and then that's when it struck me. I was like, oh, like I can't talk to him. Maybe I should like mess around with this a bit, and then I found the emote wheel. So between not being able to talk and the emote wheel, I was like, oh, like with what the game was doing to us, because it wasn't the first time it had actually shown one of us as, like there was another case where you saw me or I saw you or something, but it wasn't
Version,
actually.
yeah.
And then
That
it
definitely happens.
attacks you.
Yeah. That happened later on.
Yeah. So between the emote wheel and not being able to communicate, I was like, all right, I'm just role playing now.
Oh my god.
So I did the beacon thing. I was like, come this way.
It's so creepy, bro.
And I ran off.
That is the
and I
greatest
stole
thing.
the
Like
treasure.
at that
is the
point,
greatest thing.
I was completely convinced you were an evil clone when you were like, "Come this way." I was like, "What is happening?" This is terrifying.
So good.
But also, because there was a bit of me that was like, "This is textbook Nathan gags." Like, but I believed it. I believed it was. I totally fell for it.
And then,
And
okay,
of course,
so to make
then
things
later on, like it really did do all of that stuff to us as
It
well.
did. It actually did it. Yeah. To all of us.
just
Right?
solidified this narrative in your minds.
Yeah. It did. That was a good pick.
So I ran,
So-
I ran, and you chased me, and then you guys killed me with the treasure. And then
Maybe it just despawns when you die.
well,
Yes,
no. So I alt F forward because then I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna like to sell the lie.
Oh, so that's how
I
you
ulted
like
forward.
reconnected back at the cave.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the most convincing part. It's like we
Oh.
killed you, and then
Yes.
you're like, "Oh, hey guys, I've just
Yeah,
reconnected." Like,
because I needed to like make it look like I was just connecting
Oh,
again. So
that's
I killed
brilliant.
the game.
oh
That's
my god,
brilliant.
you're an evil mastermind. What?
Holy hecker. That's
And then reconnected, and then I popped in front of you.
Yeah.
So then you
Yeah,
were
that's-
like,
Yeah,
that was what really sealed it. Yeah, you just being there and like, well, your body's back there, so it has to be. And then the message like, I'm loading in.
yeah,
Because you messaged that, you messaged
Oh
that
my
later.
God.
I'm just loading in.
completely had me.
Oh, well, but and me too. Like, wow, that's so good.
I got
That
you
is
guys so good.
So good.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that's classic friend
Suckers.
slapper.
And then the game itself proceeded to do equally
far
brain melting stuff to us later on. Like
Yeah.
we all passed out
Separated.
simultaneously and woke up in different places. None of us had any idea where we were or where the others were.
Mm.
And then like immediately after I woke up, Len turned up with a gun.
I think I turned up as well. I was.
Yeah, you
dead.
turned up too.
I
Yeah,
got killed.
so you died straight away, kind of after we passed out, right? And then
Yep.
I was wandering around. I ran to Len and sort of held him at bow and arrow point for a minute before realizing that it wasn't Len at all. It was like a Len made of worms who like made screeching noises and leapt at me, and then I ran into you doing the same thing, Nate.
Yep.
And you told me afterwards that because you'd already died, you were essentially in spectator mode, like watching yourself kind of come after
attack
me, right?
you.
And so it was,
charge
so
you
you're like
across the
watching me talk, like you could hear me talking to you, right? You're like, wait, is that you? Nate?
Yeah. And then you were backpedaling away, and then you fell off the cliff. So good.
And then meanwhile, I'm kind of like just not. I ran all the way back to where you guys where we all passed out, and then ran and I was running past like weird forest elementals and just weird creatures and stuff. And I don't want a bar of any of it. I was like, no, I'm not doing all this shit. So I just ran all the way back there,
running,
and then did a full 180 and ran all the way back with the cart maybe. And I ended up bailing past Dave, and I saw Dave, but I was like, nah, that's not actually Dave. So I just bailed and just like, not real. And then I ended up dying just short of getting to the I was like a couple of meters away from getting through into the fort where we could escape. I was so close. But I didn't realize I was the last one standing. I thought everyone else was like somewhere.
Yeah. Because all the comms, as we died, like our comms drop off, and then
you can't hear anyone,
communicate, and we're all split up, and
so good.
Yeah, and then the jungle claimed us all. It was so good.
Sure did.
The jungle wins.
It was a really interesting. I haven't seen too many games really kind of play with the psychological horror stuff in a multiplayer
for group play
scenario like that. Really interesting ways of creating uncertainty, and again, obviously, fully reliant on you all, using the in-game Vox chat, because that's what really makes it shine. Because if we'd been on Discord, it would have ruined it immediately. But just not really knowing what's going on, not having a map most of the time, not knowing where your mates are, slowly going insane is pretty interesting. Pretty good time.
And the jungle is, as time progresses too, it gets more and more violent. Like it's
definitely gets more aggressive.
Like the jungle is blah blah blah, and it's like
you kind of effectively on a timer, right? It's just that the things get progressively gnarlier, and you have less chance of surviving as you go on.
Yeah. And in the trailer, there's some giant like tree-like moose thing that looks freaky as hell. Like we didn't see that, but it would be awesome to run into that.
Far out, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there's definitely some tentacles and various eldritch trappings going on.
Yeah.
Presumably there's some Cthulhu action in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yep.
It's
It'd be great to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's on PlayStation 5 for like $27.
Oh, right.
So it's real. It will be. It's actually out now, I guess.
Yeah. I think they must have released
during
/after Steam Fest and Next Fest. Yeah. So sorry, should clarify as well. What we have been playing is all demos that are part of the Steam Next Fest, which has been ongoing this week, where there are, I think, about 4,000 demos available. Just enormous quantities of stuff. But lots of fascinating demos to check out, and a lot of, maybe less fascinating ones. But out of the stuff that we've gotten to try, there's been some absolute gems. So very cool.
Yeah.
And speaking of finding gems, who wants to talk about Deep Dish Dungeon, the next one we tried, which is also a cooperative PvE expedition extraction style game.
Yeah, I
you
guess
avoided all the all the cringe words. You did well. I'm proud of you, Dave.
Yeah, making progress. So Deep Dish Dungeon is the next game that we played as a group. PS1 style cooperative expedition game. This is Dave Knows. With lots of darkness, puzzles, cooking. Heaps of mushrooms. A lot of mushrooms in this game as well. Another game with a lot of mushrooms. A lot of cooking, craft, survival. It was an expedition game, but I don't know. It seems kind of it's like stages, right? Like I don't know if we could go. Like you'd have to go back if everyone. I don't know how that. We weren't like having to extract it all, were we? Was that part of the game?
Not really.
Part of it? No,
it's kind of like
like
like puzzle solving, like puzzle solving
There's a
exploration.
But hey, you're kind of gated by like the locked doors and stuff, or like having to craft something to do something.
Yeah, it seemed more linear kind of progression, right? Where you're just trying to get
think so.
through. Yeah.
That was really cool. I really like the sort of polygon, like low pixel graphics. Yeah, that was cool.
Very kind of swimmy polygons, giant pixely textures, very
kind of
PS1
Minecraft
era.
Yeah, a lot of crafting.
Was quite like light was quite important, right? Like we sort of had limited life torches and cooking fires that we had to feed with wood, things like that.
Yeah, and the survival mechanics of like needing being to be fed and hydrated as well. And I just thought it was pretty solid. I don't know if it's one I'd necessarily go back to, but I might do. Wouldn't rule it out, but there's just so many games out there. But it was a definitely definitely cool experience. I think like later on when you're cooking more stuff, you'd make that'd be quite cool. To see all the different recipes. But I'm curious. I am curious to know how far it goes, the depth of it, and kind of what the end game looks like. I almost want to kind of watch a YouTube video about kind of what that looks like.
Likewise. I feel like it probably has some more to offer. I guess in some ways parts of it almost felt a little bit light, right? In the bits we played.
Yeah, you've kind of played similar things before in so many other games, like the opening sort of survival, getting your resources, Minecraft, and being able to craft more things. Even like Power World does it to an extent, like those sorts of like gameplay loops we've kind of all done.
Sort of manage the meters, upgrade and craft what you can, explore and solve the puzzles, sort of thing. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Oh, I was going to say one little thing I ended up enjoying was with the exploration was like having to figure out the weird, like little hole or corner that you needed, or like little parkour route you had to take to get to somewhere that was you had to like really look for it and be like, okay, I see there's a room over there. How do I get there? And then you really have to look at the environment to figure out where maybe a little hole in the wall is hiding, and then you get up.
And the darkness came into play with that as well. Like it's got very opaque darkness outside of your torchlight, and so it made it a lot more interesting trying to find those kind of little platforming routes and things because you're having to do it through torchlight, whereas they could have been a lot more obvious if it was all fully lit.
Yeah.
You had to be quite deliberate with your exploring. You couldn't like kind of over because there's a section where I went down a tunnel you manage the sort of water levels in the sewer area, and I sort of went up and got Nate to raise the water level so I could reach this pipe, and I went there and I just couldn't find anything. But then Nate went in the same place and could find it. Like I just clearly missed something. Missed a little hole to get into the next area. So you have to be quite thorough with your exploration. It's not like it's obviously quite a big part of that puzzle. Yeah.
Yeah. And then being able to move obstacles around to like the boxes and the planks to
a certain amount of like physics puzzling. I think for me probably the main thing was that it felt like some of the disparate parts didn't quite connect up to each other the way I kind of hoped they would. Like the cooking and survival elements didn't really feel like they were meshing that much with the kind of puzzle solving and crafting elements. And likewise, the crafting didn't seem to be playing into the puzzles necessarily. It seemed like the crafting and the survival elements, obviously kind of work together with, being able to make campfires and cooking pots and things to make more food and stuff like that.
True.
But it sort of felt like the game could have been as entertaining without any of that, because the exploration was fun and the puzzles were interesting and the platforming was cool, and I don't know, it sort of feels like it maybe didn't even need the survival elements necessarily.
True.
Or it would have been nice if there was just maybe more overlap between those systems somehow, if they were more integrated together. But it may well be that does in fact happen a bit more later in the game, because obviously the demo is pretty short and you're just kind of dealing with some early stages.
Yeah, a few skeletons there.
one of the recipes was like, I think it was like a stew or something. There was something that my character ate, and then it meant they could jump higher. So I wonder if they explore, the cooking recipes, then unlocking traversal
there might be some puzzles where you need the recipes to do different traversal. That would make sense.
That could be quite nifty. Like you've got to go and forage these ingredients or whatever to create this thing that then lets you glide across something or something.
Yeah, and I did like the sort of PS1 aesthetic of the whole thing, and
it's cool.
Yeah, it had some stuff going on, which is cool.
Yeah. And another nostalgic experience that we had was the Serious Sam open beta. It was the open beta, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Or
a playtest or whatever it was they called it.
Yeah, we got invites for that.
Yep. There was a real return to one of the greats, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's been a long time since I've played a Serious Sam. So I think it was, I can't remember if it was Serious Sam 1 or 2 that I played quite a bit of back in the day, and really enjoyed it. It felt quite different at the time with all the big open spaces and kind of massive groups of monsters running at you and lots of backpedaling and shooting.
Yeah. Constant
it hasn't changed that much.
No. What? So they've added a little bit of roguelikeness to the Serious Sam formula.
It's a roguelike deck builder now.
Makes a lot of sense thinking about it. Like,
it actually does.
Yeah, it just really does lend itself to that sort of like, see how far you can go through all of these challenge arenas or trap.
Because instead of just kind of playing through a single campaign together in co-op where you're just trying to get through as much of it as you can, you're taking on a series of like randomized levels and trying to defeat bosses that also seem to be randomized and see if you can get all the way to the end. Because I think was it 9 stages that I think it makes
9
you go
stages,
through?
And like the three bosses, I think. Like there was like every third there was a boss. Yeah. We got through 2. Oh, and we got to the second boss, right?
Got to the second boss, and then we got absolutely ganked.
Destroyed it.
Tough.
Yeah.
But all of the like little hidden rooms and ambushes, like all of those little mechanics that Serious Sam has always done, just make sense in a roguelike. What really struck me. It just makes sense.
Yeah, it's this weird thing where it simultaneously feels like it is absolutely just jumping on the trend bandwagon, and also it feels really well suited to it. Like I think it is actually a good move, and it makes sense for the game. So I'm a bit torn.
It was cool.
Because there are, Lord knows, there are enough roguelike deck builders out there. But I think, and I mean, when I say deck builder, it's really just you get some upgrade choices that are presented as cards. But effectively, you're just kind of getting upgrades between runs, and of course, there's a shop where you can buy permanent upgrades to give you kind of incrementally more ability and power.
Nice.
All the usual rogue. I suppose it's roguelite, really, right? With all that more permanent upgrade mechanic stuff, all that classic roguelite stuff.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd actually ever played a Serious Sam. I'd never played one before. So I was definitely picking up what they were putting down there. I was really enjoying it. Yeah, it was great fun.
Just good fun shooting, eh? Like just nice movement, nice shooting, just good fun to move around. And the one thing that sort of threw me slightly, but I did feel was a good mechanic, was the dash on a cooldown. So rather you can't sprint, and instead you've got a sort of rapid forwards dash that you can use every couple of seconds. And I really liked that, and it gave you a kind of nice get out of dodge, and you could use it as an air dash and things like that. But at times it also felt sort of weirdly limiting, not being able to sprint. So it was a bit of a double-edged sword, that one. I think it's one where it would stop feeling like so much of a limitation after a while, and I bet they reduce that cooldown and stuff as you get permanent upgrades and stuff too. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
It's such a simple improvement to the flow of each combat.
Just having a nice big dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. And then being
sorry.
just being able to dash in to perform the finisher.
Yes, the fact that they've added Doom 2016 glory kills
Yeah.
That felt really
as a way
nice.
of turning enemies into health pinatas. Yeah, that feels as good as you'd expect it to, because that always works well. Yeah. Yeah, so again, it feels like they've kind of fairly blatantly stolen a bunch of mechanics from other games that have done those things well, but it just kind of melds together quite nicely, and I thought it made a pretty good package.
And saying that, like the original Serious Sam's kind of came before a lot of these, like the Doom finishes and whatnot, like or the Doom sort of movement, sort of flow state combat style of game. Like Serious Sam is kind of doing that before that.
All right.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, certainly that kind of flowy, backpedally combat against horde of enemies was something that really kind of pioneered a little bit. I remember being quite astounded by the sort of sense of scale and numbers of enemies on screen at the time. I was like, oh, wow, you can do this?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the last one we played is where I am going to crack out the naughty word here, Nate. So cover your ears, which is appropriate for this game too.
I'll be the deaf monkey.
Yeah, we played BOMBANANA, which I would describe as pitch perfect friend slop. It's a bomb defusal game where you play as the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys. In the back of a van defusing a bomb for some reason. I don't ask too many questions.
Don't know the reason, yeah.
But this is such a great concept for a friend slop style hangout. It's specifically 3-player, and again, you have to use in-game prox chat because otherwise it completely destroys the entire concept. And one of you is blind, and they are the one actually defusing the bomb. And so what you see is supposed to be like you touching the thing in front of you and sort of seeing its outlines. So you get like some white outlines of the shapes of the elements of the bomb in front of you, but no color, nothing else. You can't see the other players or anything like that. And then you've got the deaf monkey who's sitting in the middle. They can see what the blind monkey is doing on the bomb. They can see the bomb components, and they can also talk to both the other monkeys. So they're acting as the communicator between the blind monkey and the mute monkey, who is the one running the instruction manual.
Yeah.
So the mute monkey is kind of looking at essentially the puzzle solve tables. And so the communicator in the middle has to describe what they're seeing on the bomb and then look at what the mute monkey is trying to communicate from the manual. So, and that was one of the really interesting things was like us trying to figure out how we could communicate certain things, right? Like first you're trying to get across this idea of how many wires are there and what color is the light and what does that mean? And you know, all you can do as the mute one is kind of a couple of rude gestures like flipping the bird,
flipping the
monkey, or holding up fingers for a number. And other than that, you've got to kind of find ways of communicating, like nodding your head up and down or shaking it left and right for yes and no. Or at one point, you've got to give directions on a set of 4 directional buttons, and we ended up just looking repeatedly in the direction that applied, right, which ended up working quite well. So it was just hilarious because none of us are understanding what's going on. There's a counter going down. Just staring at each other.
Say.
And everybody's only got part of the picture. And trying to put it all together is just hilarious. We blew up quite a bit, but we really did start to figure out the flow towards the end, which was very satisfying. Like once
it was,
to get it, it was a real good time. Yeah,
there was a moment when I was the blind monkey, and And I was like, oh, so there's the deaf monkey, blind monkey, and what's the mute monkey?
Mute monkey.
Yeah. And I realized so the deaf monkey could communicate to the blind monkey, but the blind monkey could also talk to the mute monkey.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And in that moment when I had that little realization, and I was like, oh, the blind monkey has to communicate something here.
Yeah. Oh, they're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They also need to. Yeah.
I can't hear them, but they're talking.
Yeah. Very, very clever, eh? Like, just,
Very clever.
Yeah. The lines of communication.
Knowing the interaction points and all the where there aren't any interaction points. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And also understanding what each one was doing, because the first time we played it, we didn't know what each role was doing. Like, you didn't know what it meant to be.
Or what you were supposed to communicate. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Once it's like, oh, that's right. Okay, so there's a difference between having like 4 wires and 3 wires, and that relates to a puzzle. And like now I understand. Understanding the other person's position like really helped. So that like we all swapped roles at various points. We kind of ended up going into our main role, I guess. But understanding your else's role really helped. I was like blind main.
You mained blind.
I was blind main. Yeah. I just listened and And
that was one of the really fun parts about it too. Actually, was swapping between all those roles, and it wasn't really until we kind of had a crack at least 2 of them that we started to understand.
Yes.
What was going on? And you're like, oh, right, this is what we're trying to
that's what he's
get
saying
across.
To me.
Okay,
that's what. You kind of do need to do that. Yeah.
Again, kind of one of those nice examples of like having to put yourself in someone else's shoes to figure out their perspective a little bit.
There's a lesson there.
This is really hard, actually.
Yeah. That's right.
I'd be interested to see what more they build into the full version. Like, again, seems like ideal friend swap. Not sure where else they take it. Like, what other kind of scenarios or puzzles or whatever they build in, or if there is much more to it. It might be it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, just
hopefully it's one that's.
Take those 3 monkeys and just put them in any scenario.
Yeah, basically.
It could be
that entire like concept of like this sort of 3 disparate communication styles or lack thereof would work in like quite a few different. They could expand it out into different gameplay. Yeah.
And again, in this case, works really well because it's just such a limited scope. You know, they're like, okay, this is the thing we're doing. These are the type of puzzles we're solving, and we're just gonna like make this work really nicely without kind of over scoping it too much. It's good.
For sure.
Eventually, it'll be like heisting a bank. It's the 3 monkeys, or like.
Yeah, man. Shit.
Real elaborate.
Yeah.
How about you, Len? So that's what we've been playing together. What have you been playing? What have you been playing without mate baiting?
My solo baiting. Yeah, solo baiting. Let's not. So I'm going to kick it off with Call of Duty Black Ops 7 as per. I've been playing a wee bit in the evenings and just prestige. Every year I try to at least prestige once, and I'm like sort of second round prestige. It's probably one of the most consistent multiplayer Call of Duties I've had. Like the skill-based matchmaking isn't quite as egregious. I don't think I've gotten any better because I don't play it enough to get better, but I generally feel like when I've been shot, it's like, it's because I suck, not because then there's something weird with the net coding or like rebanding or whatever. Just want to shout out to, despite it's getting a bad rep and there's all kinds of issues with the full notification of Black Ops. They've announced Black Ops 4. Modern Warfare 4, and they're like real adamant. It's going to be boots on the ground. It's going to be like no silly skins. They're like the whole like everyone's just rolling their eyes, and the whole community's like, whatever, man. We'll believe it when we see it. I highly doubt it, but yeah.
You've got some silly skins. Do you?
Not in this. Not on 7. We had the Ninja Turtles and the teddy bears. The pink bears. That was pretty funny. The Ninja Turtles was great because it was so stupid. And people got pretty angry about it.
Rage-inducing.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Was this the same game that did have the rubber banding issues?
This is one that had real bad PS5 Pro performance, but now it's really, but it basically works perfectly now. Like there's no issues. Like I can play for several
nice.
hours and it works quite nice. So it's really nice to play. When I hadn't booted up for about a month or two and I was real shit, but then I got good. Like it, yeah.
What's your kit
or better
of choice?
Kind of. Yeah. Once you give your setup and stuff, and
what is your kit of choice?
I don't know what the names of the guns are. There's like an M4 kind of there is. Oh, they're all like futuristic guns. There's not necessarily equivalents of them.
Yeah.
Usually like a submachine gun, and I go for like just full stealth. That's for this game in particular. Yeah, off the radar. The full recon build, which is kind of silencers and stuff, was quite nice. And there's a couple of I think it's called the Maddox is the name of the gun. That's probably my best gun, I think. Yeah, that's pretty satisfying. It's the same. Hopefully, Modern Warfare 4's is good as well, or better. Hopefully, it's better actually.
So throw a spanner in the works. Do you think it's working smoother because no one's playing it?
Well, actually, I think one of the issues I've had is like not being able to connect, like not on this one, but some of the other ones, like that people had jumped off and there was no one playing it. But I've found like really easily getting matches. I'm getting like that's what I mean, but like it's been really consistent with like I just load in and within like 10 seconds I'm in a match. Like that didn't happen because I think the skill-based matchmaking was so egregious, like it just would not match you even on connection. Whereas this one now with persistent lobbies and stuff, it'll like keep you in the same lobby for a while and load you in way quicker than it ever has. For like a couple of years, I've got to say. So like, maybe people aren't playing, but at least they're matching people. There might be some mismatches there. There are definitely times when
So you're thinking the skill-based matchmaking kind of criteria or bands were like so fine that it was almost dividing the player base up so much that you couldn't find people in your band type thing.
In our band, yeah. I'm pretty sure that was what's happening. Especially, I've been playing by myself. I haven't been playing with Russ, and maybe if we squad it up, we might find it gets worse because I know when we squad up, it's just a sweaty mess. Because we go into some sort of weird band because we're not the best, but we're better than like
the rest.
We're above average, I would say. Yeah, or slightly above average. Yeah, maybe.
They went pretty hard into the PvE side of that game, didn't they? Like
an in-game
co-op missions.
I never got into that. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Some of the old Modern Warfare ones were so good. Like you wouldn't jam them.
I would, but like no one else plays Call of Duty. It's just me and Russ. And Russ isn't about that. He's just about multiplayer, like PvP, and that's what he's all about. Yeah. I could ask him. I'll say, hey Russ, if you can, let me know, bro. He might be listening. So the other main PS5 game I'm playing is Alan Wake 2. Still getting through that. I'm probably about a third or maybe just over half or maybe just under halfway through it, I think, at this point. It is like a really, really, really good game. As we mentioned at the top of the episode, like it is a very well realized game. It's a lot better than the first one. But I guess I've learned a lot from Control, and also the world is very well realized and very well structured and sort of conceived. Like Sam Lake has just done what he does, and the multimedia presentation of that game is phenomenal. Even though it's not, there's like a mechanic.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, there's a mechanic where you like kind of piece together the with one of the characters, you piece together the crime, like the sort of what's going on, the case, and it's not like the mechanic is not super interesting, but it's just presented in a way that makes you feel like you're a detective. Like you're taking photos. Whenever something happens, you take a photo and you put it up on the board and like do the string thing, and it just, even though there's no deviation from that, and you have to put the photo in the right place, otherwise it won't go there. So there's no like sort of, you can't get it wrong. Basically, it still feels really cool, and it does well with immersion, and the presentation of it is really nice. It's just a great game. Well, I'll get further through and talk about it some more on the next episode, I'm sure. But yeah, so far so good. Like it's like 10 out of 10 sort of experience. I've been bugging Nate with all my theories.
Awesome.
And I'll be like, hey bro, what do you think? And he's like he doesn't want to say anything because it's because he knows what's going on. I can tell he's not saying things.
It's like
but yeah.
you were simultaneously so close, yet
But so
far
yeah.
like away from the truth.
And then I'll like do something and something will happen. I'm like, oh no, it can't be that because blah 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 blah. And it's yeah. So just there's a bit of a
God,
loop
that's
there.
so good. Go, so
He's
good to hear that you're
threading
loving
that
it.
red string around the board.
I'm literally doing that,
Yeah,
and I'm just
yeah.
like the only person I can vent to is Nate because he's the only one who knows to play it. I'm like, oh bro, what about this theory? And you're probably like, man, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But yeah, but you do you, boo. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. It's sorry if I can't. Like, there's not a lot I can say. It's kind
Yeah,
of
I know what you
how
mean.
I
No,
was
yeah.
with Clair
Just-
Obscur when I was talking to you, trying to
Yeah.
elicit any
100%.
response.
Yeah. Just listen.
Yeah.
Just
Just like blank face.
Just
Yep. No, that's nice.
So I'll try and get through these. The only next a couple of next best games I played was that the other lads didn't play was Echoes of Mystralia. Spellcrafting ARPG roguelike, of course. Kind of like Hades with an Avatar kind of vibe. Really addictive. Yeah, you basically have 2 spells. You can pick. There's 4 kind of base spells which get upgraded as you go, and I think you can unlock more variants of each of those base spells. On top of that, as you go through the different lanes through your run, you'll have like augmentations to those spells. For example, you can make it like increases speed, which might mean the like ice shards go further, or you can slow it down and they'll be like smaller but wider. Or you can have it weird stuff where it'll make them spin around you. Like it'll change the entire way the spell works, including like damage upgrades, etc. And it's just very, very cool. I think I may pick this one up when it comes out like fully on the ROG and actually just get into it because I really like Hades, even though I haven't finished Hades. I don't have a Switch anymore. But this is very similar production and feel. It borrows a lot from Hades, including when you respawn. There's like a kind of master guy who talks to you, and you're kind of uncovering the story as every time you die. You kind of resets. Very good game. Highly recommend if you're into that sort of thing. The next game I played was Trash Day. I picked it because it's got raccoons on it. I think it was supposed to be. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be friend slot, but like, sorry, Nate. But
just be sorry to yourself.
Yeah, don't say sorry to me. You play as a raccoon trying to pick up trash for cash before heading home with his mates, but I had no mates. I had no mates when I was playing. Yeah, I don't know what the game loop was because whenever you put the trash in, you had this little like the kid trolley thing that you had that you'd sort of drag around. He'd have one of those, but then he'd like tether himself to the trolley, and you're just picking up rubbish and putting it into there. But some stuff's worth more than that, and there's like you're accumulating money, but I never got to spend the money. Basically, raccoons are cool. So that's my thesis from that.
Looks adorable.
I know, yeah.
This does look very cute.
Yeah, well, it's pretty cute, but I was like, I don't know I just was enjoying being a raccoon, to be fair. I'd like a pet raccoon. Yeah, I've got cats, and even my cats kind of look like raccoons. To be fair, so that's kind of what I played. I've also been watching other people play stuff, which has been really cool. I've been following this YouTuber called Goosiest, and he plays the game BeamNG.drive and Forza 6, but I've mostly been listening to his Beam.drive gameplay. And basically it's him and his mates, and they just do these open like downhill like bombs on their with randomly generated cars, and they take the engine out, so they're just like freewheeling it down these downhill tracks and just crashing over, and like there's a lot of politics of like teaming up. It's like it looks like so much fun. I'm like, we've got to play this, guys. We need to get all the guys on it because it sounds amazing.
I've watched a lot of BeamNG.drive YouTube over the years as well.
It's so good.
It's so good. There's something just really kind of base level fun about it. You know, watching cars disintegrate and stuff with them and things. And people seem to have just discovered a lot of ways to make that game their own and have fun with it, because effectively it's just a simulation sandbox, and
yeah,
everybody's found different ways to play around with it. So I watch a set of guys, Neological and Komodo, who do a lot of things.
Ooh,
They've
okay.
got kind of modders and map makers in their little community and things, and so they're often playing on new maps that some of their
maps,
their mates have made and things like that, and so they're just kind of making stuff as they go and doing dumb stuff. It's a good time.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's coming on PS5 soon, so I'm really looking forward to that.
Is that going to be crossplay? I'm really hoping.
Hopefully, I hope so. I'm sure it will be. Well, I'm not sure, but hopefully, yeah. I'll check that out actually.
It'd be a real shame if it's not. So it would be. It would be good to potentially get into that and just do some mucking around.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be so good. And I'm sure a couple of the other guys on PlayStation will be keen for that too. Another YouTuber I'm watching is Lennybarn. He plays like GTA 5 on GTA Online RP, like the role playing servers. You guys know much about that?
Yes.
Yeah. So
I haven't indulged, but I'm
neither have I. But yeah, it's a thing. It's been a thing for many years now. Yeah, and I'm just watching him like he was like evading a bunch of cops and just trolling basically. At the end of the video I watched, he actually ended up dying. The very, very end of like this half an hour video. He was like, and he was evading them. He had all the spots, all his different like getaway vehicles, and he was like just being a real dick, and it was hilarious. But he died. But for me, it was like, oh man, I wonder if Rockstar's going to do something with that for GTA 6 Online, because it's not a gigantic bit of the community, but it's a big community, right? There's a lot of people who are doing this and playing.
Yes. Now, so I believe the answer to this is yes.
Oh, are they? Okay.
From what I understand, they've basically sucked in a large portion of the RP creator base.
Oh, right.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of speculation that a lot of that stuff, because of course, so this goes back to some of the statistics that were coming out, where basically there's a decent segment of players on PC for GTA Online, and they don't make any money off them. And that's because they're all doing this stuff. So they are just not engaging with the shark card stuff and the in-game currency. They're making their own fun, and so I think Rockstar has seen this and gone, okay, we need to try and get these people in-house basically and get them figuring out a way to make this stuff for us monetized for the entire console base rather than just kind of free on PC. And that's one of the reasons why I think they're not at all in a hurry to bring GTA 6 out on PC either, because they would really like people as tied into their online monetized console ecosystem as possible.
Yeah, when you spend
which
much money.
Again just doesn't tend to happen if you've got access to things like mods. People do their own thing instead. Yeah,
and can do it quite easily. I'll be down to experiment if it's kind of like accessible and kind of fun. I don't mind paying, but it depends. It depends. Like me and a couple of the guys spent quite a bit of money on on GTA Online. We lived in that world for a while.
Are the RP servers quite different from the
there's like whole different tools and mods and stuff that like
they're almost sort of full total conversions, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the same, obviously like engine, but there's a whole like different inventory system, and like you still have some of the same weapons, but just the way it doles out. Like there's like tire spikes and stuff you can put down. And,
cool.
And you really lean into the role play.
Fully embrace doing a job of some sort.
Yeah, like taxi driver. And I do like the idea of GTA 6 being a kind of second life. I'm kind of curious about that and how that works and how engaging they can make that. I'm not the kind of person who's really wanting like a forever game, because I like, especially for this podcast, I love trying a bunch of stuff like we all do, I guess. But I'm curious to kind of like put a month of my life into that maybe and to see how that goes.
I'm always sort of fascinated by the folks who are able to just deep dive into something like an EVE Online or a GTA roleplay server or whatever for just years of their life and just
their thing.
Make that just their thing. Yeah, it's just their hobby. I love that for people.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I can't do it, but I love it. Yeah, I love that people do that. Yeah. And just my final thing is a big shout out to Samara Weaving, who has been doing some content with Polygon. It's just like her talking about being a gamer and lugging a PS5 around various film sets and just being a total babe. So yeah, shout out to her.
This is a
Yeah,
daughter
like,
of
it wasn't-
Hugo Weaving.
Oh, yes, it's Elrond's daughter. Yeah.
Daughter or niece, was it?
Sorry, it's his actual next year's niece. Yeah. Niece, sorry.
Yeah,
You're
because
right.
that was I actually didn't realize there were more weavings in the acting world, so that was quite funny realizing. And I was like, oh, okay, she's related to Elrond, huh?
Don't know how I feel about that.
Oh, okay.
Total babe.
Oh, yeah, I'm slightly confused by this.
I'll link a couple of those videos in the comments, listeners, if you care to partake.
If you
Dave.
also wish to be confused.
If you yeah. Wait a minute, she's related to Elrond? What's going on here? Yeah.
/ Agent Smith.
Oh, Agent Smith, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say Mr. Anderson, but that's what he says. It's not-
Yeah.
Yeah, not
Mr. Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Dave, what have you been... you've got a list here, don't you?
I've got quite a list here. I don't know. I might even have to save some of these. I'm not sure.
Fair. Pick your best ones, and we'll go back to it.
Only one of mine crosses with yours, and I've got a bit of a list too.
All right. All right. Well, I'll start rattling some off, I guess, and we'll see how we go. So the first one one of the first ones I played was BioEden.
I want to play this.
Yeah, so this was a cozy little pollution cleanup, and I guess like a wildlife reserve management game. You're sort of dropping into environmentally ruined, decimated planets, and you're setting up nice environments inside, like biodomes, little kind of insulated biomes for your extinct alien critters to be bred from genetic material and thrive in their nice environments, while also kind of zooming out of that microenvironment back out to the kind of macro game board environment, a little bit more like a sort of small section of a civilization hex map to build structures to extract resources from pollution, basically. So you're like sucking up pollution and turning it into useful things to power your environment inside the dome, with a little bit of a balancing act coming in terms of having to balance how much stuff you're building, because you can also kind of make the pollution worse by overbuilding and making too many structures. But also the entire thing seems to have been entirely designed with a kind of low stress soothing vibe at its core. So basically anytime that balance might start to get out of whack a bit, you can just kind of easily undo it by removing structures and calming your farm, basically. It's extremely low stakes, extremely low stress, and it's kind of just about building nice little dome environments for your critters and slowly restoring the environment. So it's just got a nice little kind of satisfying clean up, restore nature vibe to it. And I found a sort of little nostalgia pop from a UI that has a lot of echoes of, I would say, like early 2000s Maxis games. You know, your
nice.
early Sims and Sim Cities and things like that, with their kind of slightly bubbly, kind of almost non-game-esque interfaces, which, yeah, this feels like it models itself on those a little bit. So that gave me a little early 2000s like, oh, I remember this.
I remember that.
yeah, exactly.
Back when
so yeah, that seems nice.
Through my Sim City.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Get the
old
aliens in.
Yeah. The natural
tripods.
disaster drop-down menu.
So that was nice. I would say it's much more. It felt like much more of an experience than a game. I mean, it is a game, but it's designed to be very chill. It's something that you can just kind of hop into, and you're building up a nice little. It's kind of The Sims, but for little wild critters and cleaning up pollution instead of drowning people in the pool.
Some really nice chill slot, you could say.
Yeah, chill slop.
Yeah, chill slop. Get it down, yeah.
And then I also played, and I don't actually know how to pronounce the name of this game. Rivage?
Rivage.
Rivage? I don't know.
Yeah, Rivage.
But either way, it's quite a beautiful first-person puzzler, which is set on a surprisingly lush space station. Like, boy, there's a lot of unnecessary weight on that thing. However, it looks really cool. So, yeah, really cool.
Stunning.
However, and I believe there's been a little bit of controversy surrounding this one because they've got some kind of disclaimer about having used some Gen AI to create assets as on a concept level, and then supposedly having replaced it with human-made stuff further down the line. I don't know what exactly it was that they supposedly did with that. But yeah, I know there's been some rumbles about that with this. It's a very, very dense environment, and I'll get into
beautiful
in a little bit. It's really nice to look at. But essentially, you wake up on this nice space station, but something or another has gone badly wrong. You don't really know what, and you're the only person left. And I'm not 100% clear on whether all the other crew members are dead or just missing. Some of them are certainly dead. And you are trapped in a time loop of some sort. And I will say that, at least in the demo, the time loop mechanic has got a little bit of a strange role that it plays. I'm a bit torn on it, honestly, in terms of what it brings to the gameplay. So how it works is the station itself is running on extremely limited power. It's kind of, it's failing. It's shutting down, basically. And so all the major actions you take that interact with the station itself, like opening powered doors or interacting with objects that need electricity, all that sort of stuff, all of those actions you take drain the power. So you have like a set amount of battery slots that you can use up until everything turns off, the lights go out, and you can't progress any further. And that also unlocks a manual previously locked door that gives you access to an arcade machine that restarts the loop and sends you back to waking up in your room again. And the trick is that you then have you're armed with digitized versions of all the kind of info and access cards and things that you collected through your handy-dandy brain computer, and its memory seems to survive whatever is going on in this time loop. So you accumulate more ability to navigate to different parts of the station and things with each loop. And of course, in your real-world brain, you're gaining actual knowledge as well. So I kind of like that concept, but what it boils down to, at least in the demo, is that you're essentially getting a very limited number of actions on each of these loops. And it's adding a kind of meta layer to some of these puzzles where you're having to decide what actions you're going to take to get you where you need to go. But some of those feel kind of weirdly dependent on specific ordering in a way that can feel a little bit unnatural. And overall, it feels a little bit kind of undercooked or underutilized in the demo. And it just turns into a little bit of a repetitive kind of stop-start thing, which sometimes felt more like it interrupted the flow more than it helped. I suspect it's probably going to get a lot more interesting as it goes, because a lot of these games are building on these ideas and doing more with them as they go, and you sort of learn this basic loop, and then it gets more interesting. I'm guessing that's probably going to be the case here, but unfortunately in the demo it's got this strange kind of almost unnecessary feel to it at times, where let's say you make a little logic error in a puzzle where each step uses a battery slot, or just press the wrong button or whatever, and then you find yourself having to reset the entire loop and start over from scratch, even though you already know what you need to do, and it's just a matter of doing the steps to get there. And to me, that's where it kind of trips up a little bit, because I feel like often the best part of a puzzler like this is that kind of eureka moment, like where you're going, oh, I get this. I know how this is supposed to work. I know the solution. Bam, got it. Like you have this, epiphany, and you're like, yes, all right. Not the kind of mechanical busy work that it then takes to finish off the puzzle. Like that's sometimes where these games feel like they trip up, where you know what you're supposed to do, but you've just got to do this getting there process. That's kind of like, oh, okay, we're just gonna do the thing until it's done. Same way, say like a 4X strategy game or something, you can sort of lose engagement with it at the point where you're like, well, I've already won, I just have to actually finish it now, and that's going to take another 100 turns or whatever.
Yes, that's a classic example. Yeah.
And so,
have you guys played Outer Wilds?
Oh
no,
I
need
would
to.
love to though.
I know,
That's definitely
I know,
on my list.
I know, I need to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, same. I haven't either, but I'm just kind of wondering because that's a really highly acclaimed game. That
also with like a knowledge based
in a
time
similar
loop,
way.
right?
Yeah. And so I'm wondering why Outer Wilds is successful in that type of game, whereas this one is kind of missing the mark. Like, what's different?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, I
spoiler
think this one may get there. I think it's possibly just the demo situation where you're very limited in your kind of exploration of that mechanic, perhaps.
Okay.
Because I did also really enjoy some of the puzzles that they were laying down. So yeah, little bit of a mixed bag. Really love the look and the feel of it. The story is interesting. The environment's beautiful, and it's packed with things to look at and explore. You can kind of pick up a lot of things and look at them up close and turn them around. And there's some really nice puzzles based in that, where you're looking at things and figuring out information from them and putting them together. So there's some really clever things with just kind of observation and figuring out the next step. So I think it's got a lot of potential, and I think it's really just waiting for that loop idea to come into its own, and I hope it does. And it's not that it's taking away from the game. I would say it just feels like it's not necessarily adding that much either. So it's I wouldn't chalk it up as a strong negative. Just like I hope that they do more with it, I guess is what I'm saying, rather than it just being kind of a you only have so many moves before you have to start again.
Right.
Yeah. And next was The Lift. Now, Nate, did you end up having a bit of a go at this one as well?
Just a little bit. I only played maybe the first half an hour. I do, yeah. So I haven't gone as far as you have. I'd be interested to hear sort of how the game expands on the.
Yeah. So I'll give you my thoughts on it, my rundown, and then I'd love to hear from you on your experience as well, because this is one where, with you being a pretty big Remedy fan, I thought this feels like its vibes are strongly up your alley, because it's up mine. I would describe this as like the team behind it looked at something like Control and the FBC and went, well, all right, how about if you were the janitor? Not in the sense of possibly the most powerful being in the universe, more in just the sense of what if you were the guy with the mop and the screwdriver? And weren't shooting anything. And that's pretty much exactly what this game is. There's maybe a little bit of BioShock in there. And it looks great. It's got some beautifully art directed kind of retro futurist tech to it. The environments, I would say, are like a little bit like a less ruined Fallout, and a bit of Control in there, and a bunch of kind of crazy interdimensional weirdness going on. And again, similarly to the Control universe, the sort of insane or eldritch or weird combined with the kind of mundane of an office with work to be done. There's people here or there were people here just trying to do their jobs and do their day-to-day things in the middle of some kind of weirdness. In this case, something apocalyptic has obviously happened. You kind of wake up from cryosleep as the replacement, the backup janitor. So something's happened to the original janitor, and everybody else is gone. And so you're trying to figure out or get to the bottom of what's happened, where everybody is, what's going on. But also your job is to fix stuff. So you're finding the stuff out while tightening up the screws in the chair legs and tidying up the loose boxes and fixing the broken light bulbs and stuff like that. And so essentially the gameplay is all a series of activities and puzzles that are just about fixing stuff. There's some nice little built-in kind of mini puzzles within that. Like you'll have electrical devices where you need to, say, kind of do a little plumbing puzzle on them where you're connecting wires and pipes, and then sometimes you'll have bigger multi-step processes, like this one where you get a generator up and running so that you can power a door, and going through, there'll be literal instructions on the wall that you've got to kind of follow and get the machine started up. And for me, where this really clicked was there's just this massive satisfaction factor to the moment-to-moment gameplay, where they've put in just crazy amounts of attention to detail into making sure that everything you play with, everything you interact with, it looks and feels and sounds super, super tactile and analog. And so, like, you'll flick toggle switches and they've got like this beautiful chunky kind of clunky click to them, and everything requires kind of action with your control as well. You don't just like tap on it with your reticule. You have to like move it with your mouse or your control stick and like shift it from place to place. So everything's really as manual action as it can be, essentially. So you're pulling levers, you're clicking switches, you're sliding doors and cupboards, and it feels really good. Like everything you do feels really nice. And I would say this is to like little interactive puzzle games what Bungie is to gunplay and first-person shooters. Like they've
Nice.
really figured out the Switch feel.
Switch feel, yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really good. Again, like sound design is huge here, and actually this has been a running theme through a bunch of the demos that I've enjoyed the most out of these. Like combination of finding the scope, whether it be of gameplay or environment or of the size of the game as a whole, and then making the things you are interacting with frequently just feel really satisfying and good and sound good and look good and be interesting. And it makes it such a pleasure to kind of play because, again, it's the things you're doing are not crazy complicated or like super brain taxing or anything like that, but they're just very satisfying. You're cleaning up, you're making the environment nice again. You get there and they're all dark and covered in goo, and the lights are all flickering or completely broken, and the machines aren't working, and the seats are all on an angle, and you're just going around fixing things up, getting the machines working again, getting the vending machines online so you can buy more spare parts and fix up some more stuff.
Is a lot of the tidy up optional?
No, it's kind of the game.
Have to do
it's kind of the game. I mean, I think some of it is. You certainly don't have to go all out on it. Like I think you can get it to kind of a critical level where it'll let you progress. But actually, for me, the joy was in kind of maxing it out. Like it was like, oh no, I want to get this place real clean. I want to get everything fixed. Yeah. So it's different again. That's a sign that they've made that little gameplay loop just feel really good, because I'm like, yeah, I could progress, but I don't really want to yet because I haven't finished making this nice. Yeah.
Every single screw.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I feel like they've really hit something there. Now, as of yet, there's some pretty unfinished stuff going on with this game too. There's a lot of voice acting that they just haven't implemented at all, because you do sort of talk to other characters so far almost entirely via like old school video phones on the walls.
I did get up to the trader guy that shows
Yes,
up.
yeah, there's a strange
on
transdimensional
the
trader
train
of some
thing?
sort. Not sure what's going on with him.
Yeah.
And it's
That's where it
it's
got
sort
up
of made
to.
clear shortly after that he doesn't really show up as a human being on anybody's scopes, so not too sure what he is. But yeah, you end up talking to some other human beings as well. And yeah, they haven't finished the localization yet, basically. So there's some very weird translation stuff going on. Like there's this sort of swarthy mustachioed chief engineer who talks to you via the video phone, who I think in the same sentence at one point addresses you as darling and man. So it's like, what is he's like, don't worry about it, darling. He's like, look, man, go and do this thing. It's just like, I'm not sure what you're putting down here.
Yeah, what are you putting down? I don't know if
The vibes are confused.
Maybe that's intentional. They're just trying to weird you
It
out.
sort of felt more like they hadn't quite figured out the translation.
Localization. Is
Yes, yeah, get localization, because I think it's a Latvian team. I might have that wrong.
Yeah.
Eastern European, I believe.
Based on Soviet sci-fi? Is that kind of the vibe, like Soviet sci-fi? Is it a...
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, sort of Soviet retro future tech. Yeah. But yeah, also that clumsy translation is kind of charming as well.
True.
I was already finding myself kind of enjoying the slightly mysterious background story that was going on, and I kind of want to know what's going on there, so I'm a bit invested in that. And
is that how is that told through the game?
So far, mostly through video calls with these random people who show up. Again, the translation is wacky enough that I can't actually quite figure out who they're supposed to be or where they're supposed to be, or what's going on. It's it's a little bit more obscure than it's supposed to be. I think like it's supposed to be obscure, but there's some translation barrier there as well.
Right.
But I would love to see where that starts to go, especially once it's been, had a bit of a finessing pass done on it. And the artwork looks great. Again, just lots of nice attention to detail in the right places, I think. And it's kind of got a stylized realism to it. Great atmosphere, again, great lighting. And interestingly, some kind of little like 2D animated touches here and there as well, like sort of dust and particle effects and things like that have a like an on-twos animation style kind of inserted over the top of things, and that's quite a nice choice too.
Nice.
Now I have a ton more here. I've been playing a lot of demos.
Yeah, that's a very long doc.
Nate, would you like to jump into anything before I continue rattling on about stuff, and then we can decide how many of these I should save for next episode potentially?
Yeah, sure. Shall I jump in and do a
jump
couple
on in.
and then see where we sit? Yeah. I guess at the top of my what I've been playing before I get stuck into the Steam Next Fest, I do want to quickly cover off Clair Obscur Expedition 33 and my progress. I'm an absolute wreck because I finished the main story.
Oh, what'd you choose? Spoilers. I don't spoil for Dave. I'll message you later, bro.
Spoilers.
Later.
Okay. Yeah, DM me. So slight spoilers. Not just at a very high level. So if you do want to skip ahead. The game does have multiple endings. And so, yeah. So one of them I picked another one that I picked later to experience it, absolutely wrecked me.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, there's no.
Just tore my heart
Yeah,
out.
man.
Yeah,
I'm so curious
yeah.
because me and Gareth had
I was blubbering.
yeah, bro. Yeah, same. How that? Like me and Gareth had the same. Me and Gareth picked different endings.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
So you probably know what I picked now. Potentially.
Interesting. Most likely, yeah. Most likely. I think, it's a tricky one because it's the ending that I picked. Like, you stop DMing me, Len. Jeez.
Gotta know, bro. Gotta
know. I think I am happy with the ending that I chose.
Are you? Oh, okay. I am. I definitely
can't
am.
say too much. No, I'm not happy. Okay, not happy.
Happy, unhappy.
I don't think there is a happy.
Oh,
there is a happy.
yeah. We'll do a spoiler cast now that you finished
you've made peace with the ending you chose.
I think so, but actually, the other ending that I went and witnessed after having chatted with my brother Gareth about one small thing that has unlocked so many crazy theories about what is actually happening.
In the greater world?
And I would love to explore.
We're going to talk, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just, what that very minor thing in the ending means or could mean spins off so many alternate theories as to what has actually happened or happening, and completely could potentially change the context of the ending. So super excited to maybe do a spoilers cast episode with
Gareth. Yeah.
Amongst us. Yeah. Dave, we need to get you to play it now.
Yeah, I need to play this thing.
Yeah. It's incredible, man. Like, having finished it, it experienced the story and the music and the exploration. It really is like a masterpiece. One of those games that it respects your time, and it's like a JRPG, but aimed at an adult audience, tackling quite serious ideas and themes. Very mature themes, and just getting you to think about them in ways that you may not have before. These themes that it is tackling, or just sit with them and think about them.
Yeah, there's a lot of rumination after the fact, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very very reflective. It's very reflective. Like it makes you reflect on your life and like love lost life and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And saying that amongst all the dark theming and confronting topics that it does go into, there's one sort of in the in-game area. There was one area that in particular that it just gave me that feeling that I hadn't had in a very long time with a video game, where I just felt like this complete joy to experience it. Like it was so fun and beautiful and just joyful. Like it gave you that feeling like you're a kid just exploring experiencing something new for the first time.
At the in game. Yeah, I think I know.
Yeah,
and
that sort of in-game area.
Yeah. That's fantastic, and the context of it's as well makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense being. Yeah. Sorry, listeners, we super vague.
Yeah. It's really hard to talk about, but it took me back to that feeling of playing a video game when I was, playing maybe Final Fantasy VIII or Final Fantasy IX for the first time when I was a young teenager, and just the wonder of that world that you're exploring, and wondering what's around the corner, what's the next crazy thing that you're going to see. It's been a long time since I felt that, and that game sort of helped me realize.
The whimsy and the kind of like.
That's right.
I know exactly which part you mean. I was quite entertained by that. Yeah, the sense of place.
Amazing,
so good. The sense of place as well, like the kind of setting itself is so unique, and there's obvious reasons for that. Once you get further into the game, you realize what's going on, you're like, okay, right, I see. But
yeah. And so now I've kind of entered into, I'm going to use a term from the game itself, the phase of Stendhal syndrome, which Stendhal is one of the character's most powerful moves, and Stendhal is actually a Stendhal syndrome. So Stendhal, the move, and the combat move in the game, is so Stendhal syndrome was coined by, I think, a French philosopher, or so it's a psychosomatic condition where individuals experience intense physical or mental symptoms when exposed to art of sublime beauty. That's the definition of it.
So French.
So
French,
it's so good. It's just obsession with art, right? And it's quite funny because like that has been what has completely consumed my brother.
He is so bro. Yeah, Gareth, the man.
He is deep in the throes of Stendhal syndrome.
Right.
I'm not sure if he still is, but maybe I think he still is.
He got some prints of some really beautiful art pieces. I was like,
gorgeous.
Bro, that's epic, man. Yeah.
He's infatuated.
I love that. I love that. That's so good.
Good reason. Yeah. And my interesting fact that I mentioned earlier, and I've been teasing my wife Ellie with it, saying she has to listen to this podcast to get this
right. The full story.
The full story.
Hard-hitting journalism.
Yeah. So, who do you think? Don't look it up. Who do you think voiced Renoir? So Renoir being one of the main antagonists of the game.
I know already, so I won't.
You already know?
Renoir?
Yeah, Renoir. Who voiced Renoir?
Yeah, I know that one.
Is this this is old mate Daredevil?
No,
He played
Cox.
Yeah. So Renoir is I can't say anything more about who he is in the game, but he is voiced by Andy Serkis.
Oh, true.
Yeah. Of course, who voiced and did motion capture for Gollum in all of the Lord of the Rings.
And everything else.
And everything else. Yeah.
Yes,
I just absolutely love that when I found that out.
Did you find that recently or during your playthrough?
Yeah, just recently.
Wow.
Yeah. And he has such a great voice.
That's
for
wonderful.
Renoir.
Yeah, he does such a good job.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, the voice acting is so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So that about wraps it out. I just wanted to do a birthday shout out actually to my brother because his birthday is coming up in the next few days. So happy birthday to Gareth.
Birthday, Gareth.
And thank you for buying me Clair Obscur.
Man. Yeah, what a gift.
all those months ago. Yeah. One of the most incredible and beautiful games that I have ever experienced, like without doubt.
It's a fairly common sort of sentiment, isn't it, for that game?
Yeah,
especially those who have finished it.
Yeah. Yeah, just everything, the complete package, like the music and the environments and the story, the gameplay is engaging. Like, and actually going back to that question that Jordan put to us, something that I didn't mention was that the gameplay, like, you really want the characters to succeed in the game, and so the gameplay is kind of like working with the story in that regards, because you want to overcome the crazy monsters and bosses that have been thrown at you, because the characters are put into this situation, this dire, no hope sort of situation.
Oh yeah, especially in that game.
And you just really are rooting for them to
You get
live
that agency
and succeed, and so that and that translates into the gameplay, I think, quite well, or it can do depending on your how you approach it.
Depending on your experience with the gameplay, and I guess also your kind of like attitude to gameplay as well, because like that kind of gameplay is not for everyone. Like turn-based combat with like the kind of real-time parrying mechanics and stuff like that is not necessary for everyone. But if it's something that clicks with you, like it really can enhance. And then Jordan mentions this in his writing, like it can enhance the story, the narrative, on your experience with it. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to do was quickly talk about Valor Mortis. So this was...
Oh, you did play it, nice.
I did play it in the end. So this is one of the Steam Next Fest demos I played. I think I played about 10. And Valor Mortis, which is a game on my Fantasy Critic, one that I've been keeping a close eye on. It's that one, I think I talked about it maybe last time. It's like a first-person Souls-like set in the Napoleonic Wars. I was messaging you, Dave, last night while I was playing it, with like just funny little anecdotes of weird things. Like at one point,
Napoleon was in your brain.
Oh, yeah, Napoleon was in my brain. The question, going into the question was like, where is Napoleon? And it turns out that he is just ESPing right into your brain from somewhere.
Oh, right.
It's weird as. You play as a guy called William, and Napoleon is just like this voice on your shoulder, like just...
So what you're saying is you play as Napoleon's Willie?
Yes. I think there's much debate into this, how big it really was.
6 foot?
Can't confirm, Ken.
I think it's the opposite. Like, we're talking millimeters.
Oh, like just a bit of micro.
Anyway.
That's how you use it, mate.
I loved it. Like what I've played. The demo gives you 2 chapters. The first chapter, or the tutorial sort of chapter, and then you can jump into like a chapter midway through the game.
Cool.
Like, so you've got a few more unlocks and stuff. Took a bit to get to sort of gel with, but man, like, so you get given the saber as your starting weapon, and boy, like, limbs have a difficult time staying attached to your enemies.
It looks graphic, man. Yeah, it looks gory as.
It's awesome.
Dude.
Yeah, it feels so good. Like the sword feels so sharp when you swing it, and you're just like, there goes a guy's arm, or there goes his head. Like it was effortless. And it's got this really great sound effects, like shing, and it just like slices through a dude.
That looks sick. The gameplay looks awesome. Wow, it's way different to how I thought it'd be. I thought it'd be like kind of like not fluid. I don't know why I thought that, but it looks really fluid.
No, it's really fluid. Yeah. So it plays like Sekiro, where you block at the right time, and it builds up a posture damage. And if you build that posture damage up to full, then it breaks the enemy's posture and they get stunned, so you can do a riposte or do a critical hit. So that's kind of how Sekiro works, and it's borrowed that mechanic. Plus you've got a pistol that you can aim at weak spots to like do bursts of damage. And you also get magical sort of magical abilities in your left hand. Think kind of like in Bioshock, how you had those weird things you injected yourself with, but you got like a magic ability. So you've got various different tools. You've got the sword, you've got the gun, you've got magic, and you can unlock different types of magic on your that's like taking over your left arm kind of thing. In the tutorial, it was like a flamethrower, so you could light a bunch of dudes on fire, which was like very handy because the whole flippin' battlefield was a hellscape, and there's some gnarly enemies, like really freaky stuff, because it's set in Napoleonic Wars, but like all of the enemies are there's like this weird freaky infection going on that's like mutating soldiers. At one point this bit really freaked me out. Like there was a dude sitting on like this muddy plain where there'd been a battle and like there's bodies everywhere, and then there's this one soldier and you like walk up to him and then he like bends over backwards. And then his head like splits open and it's like he turns into pretty much like a dog, like this giant dog. And then it runs at you. Like, what the hell?
This looks like it could be like a real like sleeper hit for the year, I think. Like, like just by the looks of it. And
I hope so. Because it's my fantasy critic.
Yeah, no, that's a good pick, man. Yeah.
So this is first person, right?
Yeah, yes. First person.
Yeah. I think one comment I've heard about is people describing like sometimes just having some difficulty with the nature of first-person combat combined with general situational awareness. Did you find that?
Yes. Actually, I think I mentioned that in one of our last episodes as well, because I'd seen another YouTuber play it, and he raised a similar thing. I didn't experience any of that. Actually worked really well. I got up to the boss of the first chapter and beat him, which was intense. So intense, I was holding my breath the whole time.
Wow.
Nice.
And you're like jumping attacks and like dodging and perfect parrying and shooting pustule growths on him.
Wow.
And this guy's like, he's kind of like an amalgamation of like all these soldiers' bodies into this huge hulking brute. And then he's got like 3 arms over his right shoulder that are each holding pistols.
Oh, that seems unfair.
Yeah, super cool. But I was worried that he was so large that he wouldn't fit on the screen when I was up in his grill, like attacking him. But they've done something that sort of, I don't know how it quite works. It keeps you at a distance enough to see your enemy in frame.
Okay.
So you can see his attacks coming in from his arms and limbs and stuff, which, there's going to be a lot of extra limbs in this game.
Yeah.
But you can still attack. Like your attacks will still reach. So it kind of just works. Yeah. So, yeah, weirdly, I didn't experience that. There was a few times where I was just mobbed by heaps of dudes. And at that point, you just get your flamethrower out and cook them all. And that solved that problem. So, yeah. Just love the look and feel and the visceralness of it. The sword play. I loaded up the mid-game save, and you get given a rapier, which is like short jabbing attacks that let you pop the weak points on the dudes with them.
Cool.
I don't like the way you said pop the weak points.
They gotta be popped, bro. Gotta pop them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so satisfying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I wish the Mound played like this.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Too easy.
So, would recommend. It was difficult, for sure.
So this is one for the masochists.
Yeah. One that I really want to recommend, which may fly under people's radars, was I want to talk about fishing. And I just wanted to say about fishing.
What's it about?
About fishing is about
not fishing.
Race car driving.
Yeah. It's actually a detective story.
Yes, it's actually.
Actually.
Oh, nice.
Actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But
Oh,
combined with some of the best fishing mechanics I've ever seen in a video game
Oh, wow.
or ever felt. Yeah. It's a detective game where you
It really
use your fishing rod to explore under the waves and discover like clues in a murder mystery. But at the same time, it's really weird. It's kind of like Twin Peaks-ish feeling, like something David Lynch would cook up.
Yeah.
And like, if I can paint the opening sort of scene, you play as this young girl. He's got this like little pink fishing rod, and your grandfather is sitting on the shore in his lounger stretcher thing, and he's got this bowl of curly fries next to him, and the whole opening sequence is like this play on the little girl wanting to have a curly fry, but the grandfather is like, he's kind of like, no, you've got to catch more fish first before I let you have a curly fry. It's like the curly fry is the bait for the little girl.
Oh, right.
But it's really weird. Like the way he talks is like unnerving, and the sort of like double entendres almost of like what is the meaning behind what he is saying. And you're just trying to you're just this little girl who's just trying to catch fish, and complete with like really quirky background music that it's like kind of like bouncy and like odd. And then as you sort of progress and catch more fish, and I'll describe how that works as well because it's really quite fun. It gets darker and weirder. And that's what kicks off the whole murder mystery thing.
Right.
And I don't want to spoil it because I would highly recommend you both go and try it. And of course it's also accompanied with that nostalgia, creepy PS1 graphic.
Graphics.
Yeah. With like real pictures of people's faces like wrapped around the character models. It just feels really off.
It's real
in a good way.
Yeah, in an appropriate way. It looks. I'm into this, man.
I love the look of this. I'm going to have to follow your rec there and check that out. Yeah. This is from PlayStack as well, of course, the publishers of Balatro et al.
Right. Okay,
yeah.
And of course the
Eggs.
Golden Idol games and all of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
And
Have you guys played the Golden Idol games, by the way? Speaking of puzzle games?
Yep.
Love those, eh?
I played the first one. It's kind of my game I play on airplane trips.
Yes, it's perfect for that sort of thing. Eh?
Yeah. So it's this fishing sim with great fishing sim mechanics because, like, I just want you guys to experience it. You cast the rod, and it's kind of weird and janky, and then the fish, even the act of catching a fish is weird and off. But it works. And then the fish jumps on the thing, and you're pulling it in, but you're kind of having to orient the fish towards you from the fish's point of view, so that they're not running away from you and breaking the line. So you're kind of like steering the fish while reeling it in. But then the bloody fish. There was this one point where I cast the line, and the fish took the hook, and then the fish immediately swam around the pier, one of the legs on the pier
It's
that I was fishing from,
behavior.
and just swam round and round. Yeah, it's like what kingfish used to do when I used to try and catch them up in the Coromandel. You'd get them on the hook, and then they'd swim around the muscle ropes and break the line because they're just so smart.
Oh wow, that's very clever. Yeah.
And so in this game, this fish is doing it, and then you have to kind of like like wrestle it back around the pier legs, and then and also to catch that bloody fish in the first place, I had to like underhand swing the fishing rod, and then when the hook is flying through the air, you can actually maneuver the hook while it's in
cool.
mid-air. So I'm kind of like casting under the wharf and like guiding the hook around the pier legs to get to the fish. It's so weird, but so good, like so funny.
So Nate, if we all play this,
yeah,
will it be mate bait?
Mate bait. No comment. It is mate bait though, technically.
Just mate's baiting.
Mate's bait. Yeah.
No, it's something different. It's something else. It's like
there is bait though.
There is bait involved and mates.
Yeah, you true.
It's later, didn't quite. Took a while. Took a while.
I didn't get that.
Yeah. I was definitely picking it up.
I'm just fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, far out. It's stuck in my head, and I didn't even finish the demo.
Wow.
Something happens in it. I don't want to tell you what it is, and then things happen, and then the murder mystery continues. And it's like I want to find out more. And just the thought of using a fishing rod as your means to discover clues and explore.
Yeah, taking that and making it the primary form of interaction in like a completely different genre is a nice idea. I like that.
Yeah. That's quite interesting.
Yeah. Even the fact, like I'll leave you with this, when you cast the line into the water, your point of view is from, like, the point of view it changes to is kind of like of something watching the hook.
Oh, okay.
But
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll leave it at that.
I'm going to have to experience this. This sounds great.
Yeah, likewise. I've just put on my list of games for next episode.
Yeah. Everything about it, like they've just done it to maximize the weirdness or that feeling in your gut that something's not right.
Something's not right.
Yeah. It's so well done.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Iron Nest, Dave?
Yeah. Did you end up playing Iron Nest as well? Oh, nice.
Yes.
Yeah,
I tried it this morning.
I really enjoyed this. So yeah, Iron Nest Heavy Turret Simulator is its full title. So I'd say it's an alternate reality artillery simulator. So in this game, you are the sole occupant / operator of a giant walking gun turret. So basically, you're a huge battleship turret jammed on top of some big old mech legs of some sort. And you spend the entirety of the game inside the turret. So you can't see the outside world. There's no windows, nothing. You're just in this, what is effectively a bunker. And it's, again, this is a game where I feel like they've carefully limited their scope because it's two guys who've developed it, as far as I can tell. And they've limited their scope to basically this big room at the inside of this turret where everything is just filled with this amazingly well-designed, thoughtfully put together kind of World War II era chunky analog machinery. Again, this is another game with some really good like analog stuff that you have to mush around with your mouse or your inputs and move it from place to place.
Loading the barrel, like
totally,
the shell.
So good. And again, the sound design is huge in this, right? Like, everything kind of echoing around the inside of the turret, all these metallic noises and kind of big crashes and bangs and the levers and wheels and everything spinning and gears going. It's like, it's
the
really
horn?
industrial.
Did you find the horn?
Oh, the horn's so good. I would so in the middle of the map table, there's just a big hanging lever and you pull it and just does like a It's so good.
And the whole thing like the whole
everything
vehicle that you're in just
jangles.
like shakes. It's like whoa.
Yeah, and like when you fire the big guns, like everything rattles around, and like all the lights swing around, and the recoil affects everything. But yeah, oh man, it all feels so good. Right down to like you have a little sleeping room down the bottom of the turret, and there's a coffee machine down there. Did you try the coffee machine?
No, I didn't.
So it's like the coffee machine from hell. So you get out of your bed and go to the coffee machine, and you have to position your coffee cup under it, and then put a tin of coffee something under one side, and then you've got to kind of manage these twin pressure gauges simultaneously, like kind of because you sort of push a lever to about the right place, but then the gauge will keep moving one way or the other, like it won't stay still. So you got to kind of balance one, try and get it moving slowly, and then get the other one, balance the other one, and then like smash the make coffee button in the middle to try and get it to make you a coffee. And then it gives you a little breakdown on your clipboard of how well you did with the brew.
Right. Is the joke that it's harder to operate than the giant?
I think so. Yeah.
Artillery cannon
it's like the worst thing to operate in the entire place. Yeah.
Yeah. I loved when you fired the shot, which was a very satisfying feeling.
Big
but
event.
I then loved running over to the board and then tracking your shot on the map.
Yes. So it's got this big area map of what you're looking at, and there's like a little mechanical arm that tracks your shell against your plots for where you're intending it to go. And it's even the sound design there, right? Like it's got this weirdly tense little kind of high-pitched whine that gets sort of more and more high-pitched as your shell's getting closer to its destination. So you see they're watching this thing, it's like, and you're like, oh, is it gonna go?
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah. And it's so I mean, essentially the actual gameplay of the thing is basically a puzzle where you're provided with some information from a telegram typewriter that represents high command that gives you your instructions, and it'll be like, okay, well, you've got spotters at these two positions on the map, and each of them have eyes on the target, and they're at these bearings from these spotters, and your position is here, and then you'll also get kind of additional field reports coming in from troops on the ground who'll give you some more information about where things are sort of as you go and things like that. And so there's a lot of like triangulation. As I went, it started to turn from like, okay, you've got two bearings from two spotters into now you've got two distances from two different spotters, so you don't actually know what direction they're in, but you've got to kind of figure out where the two ranges kind of intersect with each other, most likely. And yet start managing different ammo types, and you'd get kind of partial information where they'd be like, oh, well, there's some infantry here, but then there's some more somewhere in a populated area over here. And then at a certain point, they give you access to requisition points where you can get aerial photography runs done by an aircraft before you fire and things like that. So you can go like, okay, what's in this area? And that might reveal another troop position or something like that.
And you do have allies out there too, right?
Yes.
That you want to avoid.
Yes. So there's friendly targets that you want to avoid hitting. And of course, and the whole thing has a really dark, dry sense of humor to it. It's like you are working for the bad guys.
Right.
You're basically serving this kind of evil monarchy, and like the very first kind of tutorial mission, it's like, oh, fire on this thing to like test the range. And you do that, and then like the field reports typewriter starts going nuts, and it's like ceasefire, friendly hospital destroyed.
Wow.
Oh no, oh no. And then at the end of each day, when you go to bed, it then gives you a newspaper which basically has a rundown of like the propaganda version of what you've just done, where
Oh,
they blame
right.
it on the anti-monarchists, and they're like, oh, the anti-monarchists just blew up this hospital. Oh, horrendous! We must punish them. And you're singing, oh dear.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so it's got a really, really good little tongue-in-cheek sort of approach to oh no, we're the baddies, aren't we? But it combines it with like a really, really nice kind of artillery simulation thing, and it does then start giving you more information to, you know, avoid killing people en masse most of the time, where you can kind of carefully plot your shots, and it rewards you for maximum efficiency as well. So like if you use you can, you know, you can put a little kind of iris device on the map that you can change to the explosion radiuses of various different types of shell, and so you can figure out what area you're going to hit, and then you can potentially say hit 2 targets with 1 shell and things like that.
Nice.
And so there's all kinds of little efficiencies you can get, and so it goes, you know, you completed this mission with minimum resources required, good job, sort of thing.
Oh, nice.
So it's some really fun kind of map and maths puzzle, with just a ton of love put into all the interaction points. Yeah,
it's actually it's got me rehyped for the game that I had as my fantasy critic.
Oh,
that's been played till next year.
PBKK.
Yeah, or Planetin Verten Gung Kanan Commandant. Which,
Say that 3
was
times fast.
AKA, yeah.
Yeah. I think I nailed that.
It's pretty good.
Which is another like planetary. Well, this one is a planetary defense cannon that you're operating. You know, similar setup. You're a solo guy in the control center of this planetary defense cannon, firing down, shooting down things that are invading from outer space. But yeah, so whereas PVKK, I think what I'm looking forward to in that one is actually seeing the explosions.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
in INS, you didn't get to see them as much as you did get to hear them. But with PVKK, it might be a bit more like even more impactful when you hit stuff.
More visual, yeah.
Yeah, and that sort of isolation was the interesting thing in a way about Iron Nest, was just the fact that you're so completely cut off. And in fact, it was really interesting because it takes you through your first day or two, and then you wake up on, I can't remember what day it was, the 3rd or 4th day or something, and you stand up and everything's swaying around. There's all this noise, and the whole room is swaying from side to side and like clanking around, and the lights are swinging around. You're like, what is going on? I tried to make a coffee with the coffee machine from hell, and like physically couldn't make it work because everything was moving around. So I like go upstairs. I'm like, oh, what is happening? As I get to the typewriter, everything kind of stops moving around. And then the typewriter's like turret relocated to sector H11. I was like, oh, that's right, I'm in a turret on legs.
Yeah, so it's walking.
It's walking. But yeah, you're so cut off that you kind of forget where you are and what's going on, which is kind of the point, I suppose. Yeah,
that's crazy. Like you're not even controlling like where it goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's sort of remote controlled by by high command, or if there's some other poor soul isolated in the legs or something. I don't know. Yeah, but it walks around.
If you subscribe, or if you join their Patreon for the game, I'm not sure if you still can, but you can get your name engraved on the barrel of the cannon, apparently.
Where no one can see it.
Yeah. No, you can actually go get there. You can walk along the gangplanks or something, and then.
Oh, you mean the bit inside the turret?
Yeah,
right?
the inside. Yeah. I just thought that was a nice little touch.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, if you like playing around with cool big chunky machines and doing trigonometry problems, It's quite good.
Cool.
So I'm kind of thinking we've got a whole lot more on this list that maybe we need to keep you people begging for more and save it for next time, because we've got some more great game demos we played here, but we are running out of time.
Yeah, I'll add a bunch.
I've got maybe
two,
3 or 4.
Okay. Well,
nice.
Yeah, and I'll add some as well because I'm pretty keen to dive back in and into the ROG and give it a nudge.
And let me know your about fishing feelings.
Yeah, I'll definitely do some about fishing.
We will confer on that one.
Yeah. And you have to let me know which ending you picked, Nathan.
Oh yes, yeah.
All right, boys.
Got it.
Yeah, we're all curious.
Sounds good.
And that wraps us up for another episode of the Crossplay Cooperative. You can join us in another 2 weeks for some more in-depth gaming news analysis. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, share, and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Those links will be in the description. If you get a chance, give us a review. We massively appreciate it. Until next time, be well, stay well. The Crossplay Cooperative was hosted by Len, Nate, and Dave, with music and editing done by myself and graphics done by Dave. The Crossplay Cooperative is a podcast by From Silence Productions. No mushrooms were consumed in the making of this podcast.